to move quite a lot. They won't need to move out of their comfort spot unless...
Get ready, South Asia.
Hello and welcome everyone to PMPL SA 2023 Fall Season. I'm your host Anna and with me on desk is Fritz. We're going to be diving right into the third day of League Stage 1 here on this desk today. And it's going to be fun because they've had one full day of practice, of breaks. And in that, I think there's going to be a lot of changes. Also, Fritz, I'm expecting, just because we had a lot of Miramars the last day, today I'm expecting a lot of Erangels.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also hoping a lot of Erangel. But yes, all these teams, they got one day off today. Yesterday. And they should be prepped for it. I mean, we already know what things were going wrong for multiple of these teams. For MV not showing up on day number 2, but still leading in the charts just because of their consistent performance. The remainder of the teams also have to put a step up to what they were performing previously. See, again, I'd say the Bangladeshi teams and the Nepali teams, they'll have to step up if they want to, just end the Mongolian domination. Because even till now, I do not see any team else just coming out on top. I do see teams getting 1 chicken dinner, 2 chicken dinner back-to-back, but then that consistent gameplay, that is something that is still missing.
Exactly. I mean, we're definitely going to have to see how this goes forward. But for that, let's see where it is going to go if it does go forward. And that is League Stage Week 1. That's where we are currently. It's the third day of the same. But then we have League Stage Week 2, League Stage Week 3. And then the most awaited, the Grand Finals on 18th, 19th and 20th of August. So this is a long run. And everyone is in it till the end.
Oh, that's true. Everyone is in it to just win it out, I'd say. And they are also battling for this huge, massive prize pool of $80,000. $9,500 for the first person who's coming, or maybe the team who's coming out first. But there's also a team, a player, an award for that particular guy who's able to get the most frags or is the overall MVP.
Yep, that's true. I mean... we are going to be taking care of every single person that participates. But we do have one twist in this tournament. We have a TDM every single day, and that too carries its own prize pool. It's going to be $700 for the first position holder, and for the second position, we're going to have $300 individually. And that's huge. I mean, I'm going to want that. I'm going to want that and feed myself for the whole, plethora of time that we're going to be investing into PMPL. But I cannot because you would beat me.
It's okay. TDM, if you talk about the brackets over here, today we have the game between Stronger X FAKELOVE and Bad IntentionX CMF. That's going to be a very crucial game overall, I'd say. And we'll love to see how does this particular game pan out. We already have 2 victors from the remaining 2 days. ASL DominationCrew winning the first one out, followed by Venom. No problems in those particular matches. Were just sort of one-sided, except for DEADEYES guys. They tried to get that comeback happening, but I think they were shot by 6-7 frags overall. But yeah, I hope that today is a very close affair between both these teams.
Absolutely, we're expecting to see that. But however, what the teams are expecting is to know what the bonus point structure is going to look like. Because again, this is going to be the initial point that they enter the Grand Finals with. So they do got to make sure what their position is every single week on the leaderboard. And also, the teams that do get to play the bonus match would want to make sure that they have good points there as well. However, the points in the bonus match and in the regular matches are going to be as follows. There is going to be 10 points for the first place, 6 for the second, and then it goes in descending order until 7th and 8th place, where you get only 1 point and then 1 point per elimination. Considering the point structure has switched around quite a bit in a couple of years, I feel like this has made fights more important. You cannot just rat out and sit and wait to get the chicken dinner and not take fights. And that makes it even more interesting and even more, worth the while.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, all these changes have been put in to ensure that we have a quick game being played by all these teams. They also uh, just throw in as much responsibility as getting those placement points to the frags as well. And one of the reasons because of it, Team 4MV is on top, 91 points to their name, 61 elimination points overall. Followed by NBeSports, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is also there with 68. Stronger Fake Love. This is one of those teams which were able to throw a power pack performance on the end of day number one. Then on day number two, they started off with the chicken, and essentially throughout the entire day, they were able to get what, like 7, 8 points every game. So that's why we do see them in the fourth spot. But then T2K, the team which was I think in top three, slipped all the way down to the seventh position after day number two.
Exactly, and I mean this point structure should be clear enough for everyone who's watching, and this somehow does reiterate on the point that we just mentioned about how just getting a chicken is not going to be enough. We just saw that NBeSports and 4MB are literally on a difference of 5 points. They both have 30 placement points, but there's only one chicken dinner that NBeSports got and two that 4MV got. That means NBeSports has been showing up consistently for placement points, but they're also making sure they're getting enough frags, which puts them on similar points. Like there's a 5 point difference in the frags, and that's exactly the difference in the total as well. So like you gotta make sure you're taking fights, you gotta make sure you're going forward with that. And specifically for these teams who have very little placement points, you gotta put your fight game up. You gotta make sure you have enough eliminations to push you through this game.
That's true. So it'll be an important day for all these teams, especially the teams which are on the bottom of the leaderboard. And we'll have to see how these teams, perform overall. And for now, though, I'd say they should just realize that day number two and day number three and day number four are going to be very important, considering the bonus map is also going to come in. So
Yep.
on Sunday we will have the bonus game too, and it'll be just one game, but only 12 teams will be playing it. So you'll essentially get an edge over the remaining 8 teams in the entire lobby. So that is something you should be taking care about. And let's see how do these teams perform today. Do we see any changes in terms of drop location, in terms of rotation? Because these are the very basic things which I think the teams need to work on to maybe get a better position, to maybe get a better understanding of the game. For teams, I'd say like Bad Intentions like CMF, they literally have nothing to lose. So they can,
True.
just drop in military base if it's the map of Erangel. Just drop in, contest the players of Team 4MV and be like, yeah. I mean, if we cannot do it passively, let's try to be a little bit too aggressive.
True that might really work out. I mean, if you eliminate a team like 4MV or NBeSports or one of the teams that are already on the top, you are making sure that you can close in on the gap, because then they do not have
Yes.
enough finish points, they do not have enough placement points, and then the gap is going on closing down sooner and sooner. And the more you can survive, the more you can acquire points, you can cover that gap and find yourself in the top positions soon enough. And even though bonus matches do make it look like slightly misleading, it makes it look like every weekly goal is to stay in the top 12 to be able to play the bonus match, but somewhere your weekly standings are also going to be carrying their own points, which is going to add up to your initial points. So you do got to make sure, no matter what you are doing, no matter what you're aiming for, your main goal is to come up at top of the leaderboard consistently, because those points, when added together from 3 weeks alongside the bonus match points, that's going to give you like a very huge leap, a very huge advantage walking
Yes.
into the grand finals.
That's correct. Grand final is what this fight is all about. I mean, just to qualify, you need to be in top 16, which is no easy feat. And then for the next 3 days, you'll be fighting it out for the spot number one. Overall, which usually happens between 4MV and Stalwart Esports. This time around, we have 4MV and
True.
NBeSports after day number two. So has been a Mongolian domination all through. I'd really love to see some other team, stepping up and taking the case against all of these teams and hoping and trying to win it out. Stronger X FAKELOVE is again another team which is upcoming and rising. Would love to see how do they play. King of Spades as well. On day number two, their performance was pretty good. They
True.
got one chicken. They were able to consistently perform too. I mean, I still remember we saw 3 Miramar maps, and out of these, one they were able to win it out, one they were able to put themselves in top 3. So the remaining 2 games I exactly do not remember, because I think one of them was of just 0 points. So that has been a concerning case, I'd say, to say the least, for all these teams. And we'll have to see, and that has to change. So yeah, let's see. Just hoping for the best possible performance today, and maybe the teams are able to deliver it.
Hopefully. But I do have one point to mention here, Fritz.
Okay.
That is, if we actually look at the last day, we cannot carry forward those same statistics walking into this particular day because we had quite a lot of Miramars as we discussed already. This is going to be a different day. It's going to be a lot of Erangels. So you got to make sure that it's a very different play style when you switch maps. It's a very different strategy when you switch maps. And whether or not your team is able to carry this through is a big question. Like for 4MV, I'm slightly confident because we did see them pick up a chicken on Erangel. We did see them pick up a chicken on Miramar as well. And they have been consistently performing on every single map. I do not see them shine as bright on Sanhok. But then again, Sanhok is a much smaller pool. You're going to be playing very few matches on Sanhok compared to Erangel and Miramar. So having these two maps completely down to the notch is going to be pretty crucial. And then again, as you always say, Sanhok is one of those maps which is slightly more heavily based towards the
Yes,
luck
luck.
side of it. You might be able to get at least one of the Sanhoks out of all in which you're performing well enough, and that's good enough if you're doing good on Erangel and Miramar. Otherwise, you're literally at the mercy of the luck on Sanhok. Like we saw a couple of teams, like T2K won on Sanhok, and then
Yes.
no good performance on anything else. Recently saw Seal won on Sanhok, and then nothing else. So like that's weird. That's not something that should be happening constantly. But well,
No,
yeah.
that's correct. But
Yes.
today we only have two Erangels, two Miramars, and then there'll be a Sanhok. So that's something to see about. So we'll be starting off on Sanhok. Now that's a treat to watch. Early game of Sanhok, early game when we'll see the battle royale genre come into play a little bit more as compared to any other game, where you'll be again at the mercy of the zone, at the mercy of your opponents and their positioning. Because I've seen just like a compound on top of a hill and the team surviving there, and five different teams surviving there, because it was what, like 6 teams fighting over that particular place. It was literally the middle of nowhere. So that's something very interesting. And now coming into the map of Sanhok, hey, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see who wins it out.
Absolutely, and this is gonna be one hell of a ride because every single team is gonna wanna make sure that they're able to take advantage of this one free map that they get. I'm saying free because this is one of the maps where none of your strategies really work out. You
Yeah,
literally
that's true.
find anyone almost anywhere. So you can heavily depend on your individual brilliance, and you can also heavily depend on being a sneaky snake. That works out as well. So like you could find out whatever is better for you. If you're great at gun game, then depend on that. Go ahead, take fights. If you're great at like just not taking fights, hiding around, then do that. Maybe grab like a plethora of healing, and just survive. Just survive. Like even that is a good idea. Even though I do promote fights on this one because fight points do get you a lot of advantage, but still, like Sanhok is one thing you can experiment with almost everything, and whatever works for you, you just have to make it work on that particular day. So let's see. I'm pretty excited to start the day off with Sanhok because this is gonna be a real boost to go forward with.
Let's go. Let's jump into game number 1. And as usual, Group E will be sitting out in the very first game of Sanhok, and we'll have to check how all these teams perform. Now, talking about this particular game, the plane path really does not matter. I do see the plane path going from Paradise Resorts. All these teams will be dropping down very, very soon. But yeah, Stalwart Esports Nirzet probably going around boot camp. I see T2K taking a Mongnai split. And yeah, that's all about it.
Well, let's see how this turns out. For now, I am going to be keeping my eyes peeled for Paradise Resort. Every single time we try to look for boot camp, we don't really see much happen there. So I'm this time trying to look for something new in my life because boot camp has been slightly disappointing. It's always Stalwart Esports. They go to boot camp, they acquire their loot, and soon enough start rotating before any other team can approach them to take the fights with, and generally manage to survive for long enough time. But this time I am wanting to see a southeastern circle. Let's see if that becomes a possibility. Because I do want to see teams actually go all the way to Docks at some point. Because Docks is literally such a lonely region on the map. I've never seen anyone go to Docks.
Yeah, well, I in my competitive days I used to drop in dogs, and the biggest problem was rotation. Since this is a very
That's
small
true.
map and you need to go all the way to the other half of the map sometime, so dropping in dogs usually hampered your rotation, and that's why I think the dog region is not that preferred by all these teams. I
Makes
I just
sense.
have a little bit of an idea. But yeah, IHC this time around, they are in a fight with the players of Team JMEX in the city of Samhi, I think.
Well, let's find out. For now, they are gonna be acquiring pretty far away compartments. Everyone is still busy finding their loot, and yes, as you said, Sami is the city that they're in, and I feel like IHC might just have the advantage of weaponry at this point of time. However, positioning on the side of their opponents seems slightly better, considering that they are not as far away from each other. And on Sanhok, I would suggest not being far away from each other, because when you try to approach your teammates again, you get caught because there's people everywhere. It's a very densely populated map. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
No, I mean, yeah, that's true. You cannot be much out in the open. Zeol, though, for now, he is trying to just take an angle onto the player of JMEX. And I mean, that X factor is still going to be with the players of JMEX. There, one of the players is completely out on the hill. Only thing that he needs to be concerned about is the third party. So yeah, that's true. Uh, IHC for now just looted the area. Now just waiting for the players of Team JMEX to maybe get away from this position. And I think Godless has fair idea about Snipe's location. Now that's not good at all for JMEX, because as soon as he goes down, the pressure is on JMEX. They cannot get back to Snipe because he is literally what 100 and maybe 200, 300 meters away. And IHC have already started their assault.
Oh my goodness, this does not look good for JMEX at all. In matters of positioning, I was rooting for this team, but they have already started losing players. There's very little HP on Snipe YT, and it's gonna be hard for that revival to happen. Actually, never mind. Everyone is way far off to actually acquire that revival. However, in the meanwhile, if IHC is sharp enough, they might be able to attack the remaining two players of JMEX. However, I'm not seeing them do that just yet. Not trying to pick up any advantages, because again, on Sanhok, once you start a fight, anyone and everyone can hear it, and you can get third party, fourth party, fifth party. As long as you can count, that's the number of parties that can happen here.
Yeah, that's true. Well, somehow Snipe has been brought back into action, and JMEX, they are still able to survive. But I still look at Demo. What a different angle is he taking now? He has to be really careful, because then again his teammates cannot come back and provide some support. But this just would be nightmare. Snipe, he goes down again to the same player, and JMEX are like, what is happening to us, guys? Demo was just on the opposite side the previous time he gets that knock onto Snipe, and now is completely on some other area. Although finally he has been dealt with, and that exact same problem of having no backup will come to bite him back.
Well, this is gonna be pretty difficult going forward. And JMEX, even though they do have a frag on hands, losing the player is not gonna be the best position for them. However, I think there's gonna be enough support arriving in time. But look at that, IHC and Stalwart Esports both are approaching right now. Oh, sorry. My bad, the colors are not merging for me. It's gonna be D Venom, not Stalwart Esports. And both of these teams are gonna be sandwiching JMEX right in the middle. This fight has become an invitation for free frag points towards DE Venom.
Galzen, he goes down. Even Snipe is down on the ground. So even though JMEX had a great start, now because of the third party elements and even IHC just wanting to join this fight, yeah, JMEX, deep trouble. Starboy also goes down. I think it's all down to frag for their survival now.
Well, let's see. This time it seems like oh my goodness, we were talking about this earlier, weren't we? Do not nade yourselves, guys. Your survival is the key to this victory. However, in the meanwhile, DE Venom sight set on Starboy 9, and that is one frag point that they will be able to acquire for themselves. And that's just DE Venom taking advantage of an priorly existing fight. And look at that, the frag numbers just bump up to 4 in no time at all. Great plans coming in from the side of Venom DE this time.
Ooh. Let's see this time. Venom DE, Domi still just hoping to poke and prod and get anything he can, because if he even damaged IHC, and IHC, the knocks that they got were not the knocks that they were able to convert. So essentially, they do not have any point till now on the board. Unless Alex survives for a very long period of time, they will end the game with 0 points. So that is something you'll have to take care of, Alex. IHC, early damage done on them. JMEX, at least they'll have 2 points. Now, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming are now being just punctured upon by the players of Team Stronger, FAKELOVE, Doubtful, Dobu FL. Just, throwing in some shots. One of the players of Team SKYLIGHTZ is down. The revival will come in, but he has all the information he needs in the world.
Absolutely, and information is one big weapon for anyone at all. If you have information, it works better than bullets. Trust me on that. Unless you just don't know how to capitalize on that information. However, our teams, they do know. They do know how to do this, and they are going to be trying to make their way back into the circle. The circle has taken a completely eastern shift this time, and we're going to be seeing some teams trying to still struggle through the blue zone, but there's quite a few that are going to have an easy time trying to enter into the next circle. So I guess the fight between D Venom and JMEX and IHC might still be able to reach its resultant before D Venom decides to actually go for the circle.
King of Spades, though, look at them as well. Just on the edge of the zone. Probably still have all the 4 players standing. But meanwhile, Stalwart Esports, they are having a good day in the field. Praveen from Raw Official has already been taken care of, and the remaining 3 players of teams Raw Official, they just hide. They just want to survive.
And isn't survival the name of this game? However, trying to survive is something that you're not gonna have an easy time doing, to be honest. Solid Esports does survive with all fours, and I guess I8 is gonna be their first aim. But then again, I am concerned about this team because they generally do not survive with all fours. I have great expectations if they do, but they generally don't. So I'm not gonna feel like they're gonna have a completely clean sweep fight against I8. But if they manage it, they're gonna have a great advantage going forward into the fight. I8, however, currently seems like they're completely unaware of the situation because the way Domain is running around, I don't think he has any idea that Solid Esports has their aim set on them.
Hmm. For MV, though, on the other hand, they get that early frag out of the players of HBDC, so they also have been reduced to just 3 players. ASL, they are also playing a little bit shabby. Chari caught in the crosshairs of Domain, and this is something you'll have to always expect. I mean, a player hiding in the bushes, a player hiding around the compounds. This is something you'll always have to expect. And Chari making a little mistake has been punished because of it.
There is gonna be no mercy. Not on the map of Sanhok at least, because come on. This is one map where every single team's like they can win this without much trouble. Oh no, but look at Icy. He shows his face and now there's a nade right on top of him. Does not do as much damage as expected, but look at the DBS walking into a close range fight. This is gonna be pretty advantageous.
Wow.
However, he loses. How, Viper? How do you manage to lose that one? A DBS losing in a short range fight. Did not expect I would live to see the day.
Yeah, there was an S12K. Another shotgun in the hands of the player that we were trying to rush, and then the cover came in from behind as well. The M4 was tagging this lad quite a bit, and then essentially the final frag came their way too. So even though IAW lost a player, but in this fight against Stalwart Esports, they had that upper hand and still decided to disengage for some reason. I think the third party has forced them to just run away from this particular area.
Absolutely, you do not want to have someone else feasting on you while you try to enjoy another piece of cake. In the meanwhile, Solid Esports does not get the opportunity to, evacuate the area and becomes a prey for Raw officials. And with that raw aim brilliance, they are trying to capitalize on it. But well, one after the other, Raw officials dropping players, trades coming in, but still, Solid Esports not able to survive, giving Raw officials free frag points and making it a total of 4 for them as well.
Multiple teams, JMEX, IHC, ASL, IAW, 4MV, all of these teams have lost one player or the other. Now, Raw is able to bring back one of their fallen comrades back into the game, but still they will be continuing with just the 3 players standing. We'll have to see how these teams, pan out essentially, especially for players like IHC Alex, who is the lone one standing. For now, he's inside the zone. How long is the biggest question? Now, I do see the player of King of Spades also taking this a little bit for too granted. And Assassin, he is happy enough to accumulate that frag for himself.
But Fritz, take a look. NBeSports is in a rush to try and have some pieces of this pie as well. They're trying to make their way in and get the pumpkin distributed towards their side as well, making more points for themselves because right now they're still standing on a zero. And until six more teams get eliminated, they are going to be standing on zeros. So pretty prepared for the coming fights. I feel like NB Esports will be moving in as well. However, DE Venom might not have a good shot anymore because they are being shotted by none other than 4MV, the dominating team for the run.
They've lost Baron early on, but it does not seem to hamper their progress anymore. Now, Venom is still surviving. He will be shot upon, but for now will survive. And yeah, the reload will make sure that he gets enough time to just run away with the Dacia he had. Now, not the best possible end towards the start that they had Venom DE. They had 4 frags, they had all their 4 players surviving, but none of those things mattered because Apex and his M4 were present in the perfect spot to stop the rotation from DE Venom.
But look at Rambo, sneaky little guy, still trying to revive himself, still trying to heal back up. If he comes back up on top of the hill, he might have a clear shot onto Apex, and Apex might not have any support arriving in time to save him. But will this be a fight worth investing in for Rambo? Because Apex is still closer to the play zone than Rambo is. So I guess avoiding this fight is gonna be something that Rambo might put his money on. In the meanwhile, T2K Esports not able to go ahead and support the fallen comrades, has to take the fight with STRFL, but they do win the one that they took part in. And stronger FAKELOVE losing another one, dropping positions one after the other.
Still T2K Esports, just trying to fire some shots. Again and again, I've seen Rig getting knocked. This was the second time and has been revived and brought back into action. We would need a strong performance from T2K if they want to replicate the result that they had the previous time. At this time, the zone not supporting them, the positioning not supporting them. Yeah, this is looking like a dire situation. Now, 4MV, if I talk about them, only one of their players has been able to get inside the zone. Whereas I still see uh, one of the players outside. I think he's also, Apex is also just trying to rotate as soon as possible inside the zone. T2K though, no fear, shoots another player of team T2K down. So SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, they are also having a good field day over here.
Well, let's find out who's gonna make the best of the situation because again, on a map of Sanhok, you cannot really say anything before it's already on the screens. Look at 4MB, lost Apex to the play zone. With 2 members already down, I feel like the expectations for 4MB to win this one go quite low because it's a dip that they've already taken. However, in the meanwhile, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming does look like a strong contender for this one. They have a great position for themselves right under Bhan. They are going to have cover them for themselves as well if they don't decide to move towards the southern side of the map, and they have nothing to watch on their backs because no other team is surrounding them in that area. Completely isolated, great area to hold on to, and slowly and steadily they can move along with the circle. Let's see, however, if they are going to be able to make it out alive from this fight against T2K, because T2K, again, they have won on Sanhok once. This might be another good day.
Yeah, Nima is definitely playing Sanhok. He's already gotten rid of the backpack. He's like, yeah, I'm ready to be a snake. If that is what I need to do. So that's a great thing to do. Yeta Uta talking about him. He's also in a position where he just wants to survive. He's though the last player standing. He still is taking some fights. Now he gets one frag to his name, probably the 7th one of all the frags that the players of 4MB have gotten. And even if 4MB they get eliminated right here, they will at least have 7 points. So again, a decent game, not the worst possible one.
Absolutely, and a decent game is all that you want, to be very honest, because if you're able to consistently get decent games, that's good enough. That's good enough. And if you're 4MB, it really does not matter because you're having some great games and everything else is still in the category of good games. So Well done so far, and I guess this fight against T2K is not going to be very difficult because again Turulov is on a very low HP. That is going to be a confirmed frag, and then one single person surviving from the side of T2K is also super low. So that's going to be another fight that can be capitalized on. However, in this ruckus, 4MB might be attracting attention from other teams as well, which might try to come in for a third party and eliminate 4MB as well. But look at that. That frag got capitalized by SG. That extra point won't be taken for 4MB.
Yeah, well, third party. The beauty of battle royale, as I love to call it, stealing frags from each other. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're not diligent enough to get the knock and the finish at the same time. But you cannot blame the guy from 4MV2 because he's all alone. He knows if he gets the knock, he will be exposed to multiple different angles, multiple different teams. So it's just better to keep holding that angle out and maybe just get in as soon as you get the knock so you're safe and secure from the other parts of the map. Now, raw officials probably inside the zone still for some reason trying to come down the hill, and IAW, I cannot understand the reason for such a long split when you have all three players standing. But hey, let's see if raw officials is able to deal with that or not.
I think Raw Officials is going to have an upper hand into the fight because one, they are slamming in with all their players at once. Octopus is not going to have enough tentacles to survive himself.
Jiggle gets the
That's
knock.
not enough cover. Exactly. And with that, I guess these shots are going to invite ASL into the fight as well. Hungry to make themselves a better spot on the overall standings, I feel like ASL is going to enjoy every single gifted frag that can be acquired. Even though they are slightly busy in another team that is already watching onto them, I feel like one or two players will be able to take a look around and make sure that they capitalize on this I8 fight, which is already initiated between I8 and Raw officials. Jiggle again trying to approach another player, Wadu trying to make sure that he can take this fight. But in the meanwhile, look at Domain peeking out of the zone. But is it gonna be enough? No, it won't be because Domain gets taken down as well, and now it's all onto Waru to make sure that he fights off with Raw officials. And look at that. Even ASL is here to enjoy the party.
Yeah, well, ASL is here, but the problem is ASL wouldn't have a clear idea about the exact locations of Team Raw official. Now you might know one, but yeah, that's what happens. Sky takes an off angle, Gangster not ready for it, and I really cannot understand how hard is it to just play all together in the final zone. If you're holding a compound, just all four be near it. If you're holding one angle, just all four be near it. Don't know how hard is it for these teams to just do that one particular small thing. Now one by one they are being taken care of. ASL already lost a player. It's gonna be a difficult situation for all of these teams. When we talk about the predictions, I'd say NBeSports they really have a good chance of winning this one out.
Absolutely. I kind of agree with you, but I also have my eyes on to SKYLIGHTZ Gaming because they seem to be having a good time for themselves as well. But let's find out because this time things have gone pretty far already. And I mean, there are quite a few teams we can already write off. It's definitely not going to be JMEX. It's definitely not going to be Raw Officials or ASL. So there's only 4 contenders left. And I'm going to put my money on SKYLIGHTZ Gaming for this one. Let's see.
Haha, two of them just got knocked down. So not the
And
best
one team got
possible.
eliminated.
DEADEYES CMF is the team who are trying to, get those frags. Mafia Ninja finally retaliates back, so he at least gets one refrag in this situation, and Ninja and Nima still survive. Now let's see if both these players are well enough to get the side of Team SKYLIGHTZ Gaming a chicken because I do see DEADEYES CMF a little bit too interested in this battle. Dante, very aggressive, goes in alone, gets another frag onto Nima. Nima was completely unaware for some reason. Now Mafia is just cooking a nade. He is trying to throw it out and catch Dante in the process, but he won't be. Dante just around the corner is able to dodge the nade. Mafia forcing the battle. Can go maybe for the revival. No, it's Mondo who comes in with a third party to secure that frag. So NBeSports also want to have a piece of the pie. Mafia Ninja pushing in, tagged down a little bit and will be taken care of by BITCMF.
The jinx is real. The jinx is real. However, it's not working out for your side just yet. NBeSports definitely capitalizing on the situation. But Raw officials, in the meanwhile, taking care of ASL completely. Not surviving with the best numbers themselves either, but good enough to go forward with because again, this is already almost the last few minutes into the game. Let's see. Because this time, as you said, NBeSports looks strong. They have good numbers. Bad Intentions hasn't had a good momentum so far anyways, so I'm not going to completely rely on their numbers. And in the meanwhile, Raw Officials does get taken out. We already knew these teams could not make it, and the ones that we had named have already been taken out. It's just 3 now. And look at Bad Intentions. They definitely look evil today.
Well, Sekujin has been taken care of. Now that's a problem. Let's see though if NBeSports, the remainder of the players, can deal with the onslaught that team DEADEYES CMF is throwing on them. Even King of Spades, they come in with a knock. Now, the nade would be good if it's able to be just popped inside the window, but Mondo from the other hand, he takes down 2. Dodges the bullet like it's just the Matrix, but will be taken care of by the players of King of Spades. So even NBeSports have been taken out of this game, but they've done their job, I think. For King of Spades, this is the best opportunity to grab that chicken.
Exactly, and King of Spades, one very unexpected team, might just show up with 2 chickens in hand at the end of this game. However, the nade blend perfect. 2 players are knocked down, and now another nade is coming in, making sure that the frag points are taken on. And Bad Intentions, these monsters, these beasts, are finally able to secure themselves the meal that they've been waiting for.
Wow, I thought for a second that the other team, King of Spades, could really be able to get that chicken. But one nade just comes in, just eliminates everyone, and is able to help the side of Team Bad IntentionX CMF get that winner chicken dinner themselves. What a game from them, and that too an active one, because King of Spades were very passive. They were not even shooting a bullet from their chamber. But DEADEYES CMF, they come in, they use the zone perfectly, and are able to get that chicken.
Make it clap.
Hello and welcome back everyone to PMPL South Asia Fall season of 2023. I'm your host Ara, and with me on desk is Fritz. An amazing match that we witnessed, and we've been talking about this for a while, Fritz, that we want to see new names come up constantly, and there is another one on the list. Bad Intentions, finally, with a chicken on their plates.
See, again, it's one of those Sanhok games, so I really wouldn't just increase my hopes right now for any other teams, because these Sanhok games are usually based on luck. Again, NBeSports has had a great spot inside the zone, but it's the play zone that just shrunk in towards DEADEYES CMF and then towards King of Spades. Although King of Spades were not able to make the most out of the situation, DEADEYES did. So it's just one of those maps where you really cannot count on teams in terms of consistency. Yeah, if DEADEYES is able to get another chicken the next time around, or is able to get at least top 5 in the next game, that's when I'd really consider CMF to be a threat to the other team. But for now, yeah, it's a good game. This really might help you to put yourselves in top 12 or maybe even top 10. But that's about it. After that, it's all on you. It's all on your consistency on how you play if you want to get some more points on the board overall.
Absolutely. However, we were talking about something earlier itself, Fritz, that this is going to be one of those times when you get to go ahead and take down the teams that are already soaring high and make sure that the lead shortens down. But were they able to do it successfully? Not really. NBeSports got a lot of points from placement itself. A lot of points were given. Exactly. A lot of points from frags for the side of 4MV. And well, that's putting them still on high enough spots. However, the one person that soared really high in this particular match is gonna be 90 Degree with 5 eliminations and finally having the name of Bad Intentions up in top players, in winning and in MVP.
Yeah, that's a great game for Degree. I mean, we needed one sort of a game for DEADEYES CMF maybe to just break the momentum, the bad momentum that they had. and probably this is it. But now, if you talk about the other players as well, RX Jack got 4 eliminations, but it's again he's from 4MV who gets 5 frags overall, who still has made a name for himself in this particular chart. Raw Esports also have 2 representatives, Sky and Malik. I think this team got eliminated for 6th or 7th overall, but still have 9 frags to their name, so that's a good game for Raw as well.
Absolutely. I mean, Raw did try really hard, but then again, in their last few minutes, they did lose 2 of the players, and then it was really hard for them to actually come back into the fight. But yeah, I mean, when we were asked our predictions at that point of time, I did feel like I would want to go for Raw because I really, really wanted to see this team come up on top at this particular match in this particular point. But then the positions just did not reflect that, so I had to go with the more logical choice, which again happened to get eliminated the moment I took the name. And I'm really sorry, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, for jinxing you like that. I shouldn't have. But yeah, 6 points in total for SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, but 21 for Bad Intentions. It's a great game for the team.
Yeah, well, BID definitely had a great game. 21 overall points, followed by Raw Official, who got 15 to themselves. And look at this, 4MV third, placement points, nothing, nil, nada. But because they had 8 elimination points, they're still on third spot.
Exactly. I mean, that's a great position because there are teams that got 6 and 5 placement points and still not enough eliminations just to make sure that they can survive on the right positions. You got to make sure that you're constantly trying to dig in for more and more points because it's not just about this particular standing of every single match. You do have to make sure that in the weekly standings as well, you are able to position yourself. Now, JMEX, even though they have 1 single placement point, I did like the fact that they were aggressively going in trying to take up fights. I did see slight overextension in their game, but then again, it was good enough because you were actually at least getting points for themselves. I'm gonna keep my eye out for that team as well. But well, looking at overall, about to hit 104 MB. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's an average of almost 10 points every game. That 4MV
Yep.
and even NBeSports have. And literally there's no competition. Now, yes, you can say SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is there, 74 points to their name, and that's a good number to have. But how do you compete with teams who are literally almost 20 points away from you? So that's one of the biggest questions that I have. Now, if we talk about the other teams, guys, some of them, they've not even played one more game, so they're 1 game short. But yeah, Bad IntentionX CMF, a good jump, 45 points. They were seen somewhere around 18-19 spot the previous game, but this time with 21 points in their arsenal, they have jumped up quite a bit in terms of overall standings.
Absolutely. However, I'm slightly disappointed by some teams. I was expecting great game from the side of HVDC. I was expecting to see them on the first page at least. I was expecting the same thing from Mabetex Esports as well. They are a huge name in that region, and I was, looking forward to see their performance, put them on the first page at least. But they are literally hardly even in top 16. Like they're literally on the 16th position. And it's a 3-point difference. They could literally be out of the final count. And that's not good. That's not good at all. Leo Esports, again, another name that was expected to be on a greater position but aren't. However, we will be walking into one of the maps that is going to require high strategic demand from every single team. And in this map, I would like to see Bad Intentions replicate what they've already done and take another chicken for themselves. Because again, all the new team names that we have seen have come up on Sanhok. And I want to see that change into more maps that get added to the pool of these teams.
That's correct. But now that's about it for the map of Sanhok. Now we will be moving back to the defaulty game of Erangel. And we'll have a couple of them in a row. So we'll have to see. I know Group D will sit this one out. Group C will sit the next one out. But the other team, especially Group A, B and E, for them, these 2 particular maps are going to be very important. Probably make or break for the entire week. Because this is what, the halfway game? The third map of Erangel would be the halfway game, I'd say. And
Yep.
you'll get a fair idea about where every team stands and what to expect in the bonus game, what to expect in the super weekend. So that is something which we will get a clearer picture about after the next particular game. So yeah, it'll be an important one for all these teams play. Consistency is the key. DRS CMF,
Yep.
great job done by you guys. You'll have to continue the same performance though. We're not asking a chicken from you. What I'm just asking are just 8 to 9 points from this particular game. That's about it. I don't care how do they come. Uh, are you able to achieve it from frag, maybe survival points? Well, survival points won't get you to 8 or 9. You'll at max get 6 if you're able to get second. So you'll have to get some frags here and there. But yeah, BRDX CMF, they need to keep these things in mind.
Absolutely, and I want to see this team go consistently forward because they also have a TDM today against stronger
Yes.
FAKELOVE, and they gotta make sure that their gun game, their individual brilliance, and everything is able to somehow
Uh-huh.
place them in a better situation because that is a single elimination game. So they do gotta be very prepared for that. However, again on this map, even though we are expecting great things from the side of bad intentions because we
Mhm.
want to see them, show up with similar performance in generic maps as well compared to Sanhok. However, somewhere a big piece of my heart says loudly 4MB. Not just because they've been doing great job consistently, but also because it's Erangel. That's where they had their first chicken. And the way they play Erangel is pretty optimal also. We've seen what, 3 Erangels so far,
Mhm.
and every single time it has been a 4MB Erangel. It has been a
Yeah,
southern circle. Like,
that's true.
they don't have much to worry about. If it's a southern circle, it is 4MB that wins. The only thing that can change is the circle, and that's how we will see
Yes.
4MB actually try to rotate and go into newer areas and find out how they perform in that particular situation. But yes, with all the air in their hair, players are ready to walk into the plates.
Let's go. Let's jump right into action. Let's see how the plane path looks. Which team has that early favor in terms of drop location? All these things are yet to be seen, and I already see the plane path starting from Query. That means again it's sort of a southern plane path, probably towards the central side, still a little bit southern. So you will have military base on the cards. Novorepnoi, yeah, not so much. You might need to drop around farms or maybe even the city region of Novorep to get a vehicle and then drop towards the main city.
Might very well be. But let's find out how the teams are gonna plan their move because okay, IC was just slightly way too late to actually take the drop, but well, I'm sure he'll reach the position he wants to. There's quite a lot of dispersion in Stalwart Esports already, and I'm literally seeing one person go towards the southern side of the plane path while the rest of the team is going towards the northern. That's slightly confusing for me, but we'll find out how that turns out and what their plan is on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 4MB taking their drop, trying to move in towards Sosnoka military base. But JMEX, do you think they will be able to pick themselves up in this one? Because last one did not go at all in their favor. But I'm seeing this team try hard a lot.
See, the idea of how to approach a certain map differs very much from Sanhok to Erangel. So, what I thought or what I saw from how JMEX took that early first fight, they were lost. They literally were just lost on the entire map. They were hoping to find anyone and just shoot at them while being completely out in the open. So that's why they were punished. And not just by IHC, there was another third party team. I think IAWO was the other team who third partied them.
Yep.
So that won't hamper you a lot in the early stages of Erangel because third parties is something which we see towards the fourth or maybe the fifth circle. And talking about the circle, we have the first circle that has gone all the way north this time around, so no 4MV circle. That has to be the team that might have to rotate very early on.
Absolutely. 4MV being completely on the opposite side of the circle is going to have quite some hard time trying to relocate themselves. However, our Novorepnoi dropping team is not even in the group this time, so they're going to have no worries while going around. But let's see. This circle is going to be heavily guarded on the southern side, and that's something 4MV2 must be aware of. But then again, approaching it from the northern side is going to be another thing that I mean, I don't think that's going to be possible. That's going to be huge hindrance because the circle is going to be coming in on you soon enough. They have acquired vehicles and do look like they're going to be interested in early rotations. But then again, first of all, finding the right weapons is going to be important because if you're completely lootless and rotating, that's going to be hard because long range fights will happen if you're running around in your vehicle trying to approach the circle and the teams around you have already acquired their spots.
Hmm. For now, though, if you talk about all these teams, so yes, the southern side of the map will be flooded. So basically, regions like Pochinki, I'd say even Rozhok, or maybe the bridges, the Rozhok bridge, the Yaznaya bridge. All these bridges will also be a point of contention. For some team, the Georgia Paul bridge too. I mean, IHC for sure will have access, but I think Stalwart Esports would like to run towards that particular bridge. Maybe Seal Esports would love to run towards that bridge and take it early on so that they face no fights early on. So this is something I'd like to see how does it get dealt with, or how does this opportunity for IHC gets capitalized upon. Yeah, an interesting drop switch from Stalwart. I saw them going to Novorepnoy one of these games, but then again they are back towards that query split.
Yup, they are going to be focusing on to query itself. While we do see Mabetex going for a split onto Mansion and Lipovka with two people on each location. Vehicles have been acquired and the team will soon try to rotate into the circle. I feel, however, for Mabetex, Stolber is going to be the place to stay at because, again, this team hasn't had good fights. They do not want to lose out on placement points as well. So Stolber would be a great position to rotate to, but then again it will depend on the team and on the kind of information that they have collected so far. HVDC, however, having a good time, nobody around, and a great location to actually go ahead and loot, and same can be said about Seal as well.
Hmm. For now, though, if you talk about DEADYES CMF, no problem whatsoever. They are in the city of Stolber, I suppose. There's an M249 that Knight has, plus a shotgun. Or is that an M24? I'm pretty sure it's a shotgun. But yeah, the remainder of the players, CMF, 90 degree, not the best possible loot. Again, this is not a city that is known for loot. So probably the Stolber as a area to loot on is enough for maybe at max 2 players, but surely not
Yep.
three.
Absolutely, not going to be the best resultant for the team. But then again, for the viewers that have joined recently or have lesser idea of the game itself, loot becomes a very important phase in the game because you do got to make sure that you have enough gear to support you into the fights that come your way, enough healing to be able to retract from the fight and come back onto full HP to take the fights again, and the right kind of weapons to actually take the fight with, the ones that suit you, that's the ones that suit your playstyle. And alongside that, the kind of utilities that you carry also matter because there are some fights that you cannot take head on. You want cover, you want smokes to be deployed to be able to rotate from one place to another. You need nades just to make sure that you're able to clear some angles before peeking into them. So yeah, loot definitely is one of the most important phases of the game. And for that, even though it does not look as fancy on screen, it does mean a lot to every single player that's in the game.
Although first blood has already been drawn, NBeSports, one of the players has been taken down on the ground. So would love to jump towards that fight. It is DEADEYES guys who are still trying to just harass the players of Team NBeSports over here. Oh, that's now a bold move from Sekujin. He is very, very close to Slayer Sir, and then the
Oh,
support arrives
nice.
too. And that's a double trouble coming in. Sekujin gets a knock, Faceboy confirms a frag, and even though NBeSports are losing numbers, they still are keeping it competitive.
That's true, but NBE Sports is gonna have quite a lot of players to deal with now. They weren't able to actually recover the player just yet. He's still on the verge of bleeding out. Mondo will be taken care of, but in the meanwhile, the nade walks in and it is knocking another player from the side of NBE Sports. Even after being able to be in a position where they can pick their pieces up, NBE Sports finds themselves in a fight that is hard to take. However, even after height advantage, Deadeye's guys loses one player, but then the support will be able to do the damage and secure the team. Lost one player, but got 4 frags. I think that's a good enough trade. And you have taken down one of the most consistent teams on the board.
Yeah, that's NBeSports down with just what, 1 point? And that's a game NB were not expecting. They thought that this
Neither were
early
we.
fight could go their favor,
Yep.
but it just did not. Easily, they were able to suppress their opponents, and DEADEYES guys with 4 points on the board. That's a confident start for a team that is in the bottom three leaderboard.
Absolutely. Deadeye's guys would need every single victory that they can squeeze in, and let alone victory. You would still need good number of frags and good number of placement points for yourselves. Considering that 4 frags have already been acquired and it's what still still 15 teams on the board, 59 players on the board. That's good enough. If out of the 5 dead players you have acquired 4. But now going forward, I think Deadeyes guys must take things slightly slower and make sure that they get position points as well. If they get at least 3 position points, I would call this a good game. I would call this a great game for Deadeyes, at least.
That's true. There is guys though. They've lost one player as you said, so that's something you'll have to take care about. Now, early on in the game, losing a player could really hurt you a lot, but considering you have already gotten 4 points to your name, if you're able to survive all these fights, get a good spot inside the zone, that is when you can, really start to shine. Maybe hold a compound, have some extra ammo, have the scopes for yourself, and try and tap your opponents out. Now the circle has again gone towards the northern part, so basically towards the shooting range area. So all these teams will essentially have to maybe use the bridges to get inside the zone, or maybe go for the long rotation far away from Stalwart towards Severny or someplace like that. But yeah, because of this, we will see a lot of rotational clashes happening too.
Absolutely, and rotational clashes are pretty fun because you're taken off guard, you're shot at, and then by the time you realize you're already one man down, and then the rest of the team does have to survive for you. And that just puts the team that's already in the circle on an advantageous position. And I think that is how it should be to begin with, because again, you have to respect the circle. You have to make sure that you're taking time into consideration in your fights. It's a survival game. You cannot let the blue be a hindrance to you. But in the meanwhile, DRS this time looking pretty strong. We have seen DRS try and manage themselves in the top few positions quite a few times, but they haven't taken the desired results just yet.
That's true. Although, if we talk about Stalwart Esports right now, all the 4 players standing, they have already spotted JMEX, but are taking some shots from the other side. It is, I think, JMEX. And I see probably using the buggy in the wrong way, because of which he has been tagged up quite a bit, as needs some place to get that reset for himself, and again wants to just run away towards the other maybe side of the ridge where JMEX and Seal are already fighting.
As of now, Seal is taking in damage from the side of JMEX, but it seems like JMEX will be able to acquire a higher ground, find a ridge, and also find enough cover for themselves to be able to participate into the fight with more numbers. So, Seal, the best idea is to walk out of this, and they do seem like they're retracting.
If we talk about vote, DRS, we have the most votes and 4MV after that. But considering the start of the game, Deadeyes guys, yeah, well, really, they will be in a tough spot over here because they've lost one player. That's about it. Although, yes, they do have 4 frags to their name, but losing a player will put a little bit of a dent in how do they want to continue the game. Now, the remainder of the teams, except for NBeSports, would love to rotate because, yes, obviously, NBeSports have already been eliminated. Getting inside stage number 3 or probably stage number 4 is going to be the biggest thing over here. But meanwhile, Raw official, they get that knock onto Doc and has been taken down. Now remember, Doc has been the most impactful player for 4MV, and him going down, let's see 4MV how do they retaliate.
Well, I do feel like 4MV, every single player is stepping out at one point or the other, and they wouldn't have as much difficulty trying to fight off with just 3 players. But I am seeing East struggling quite a bit today. Does get taken back a lot. He does not always get the chance to actually come back into the fights for the teams because he's struggling with the blue most times. Today it has happened multiple times. So let's see if he's able to manage that much. He might be in a better position, and the team will have the right support at the right time. But then again, 3 players against force is going to be pretty difficult. So I would suggest for 4MV to actually take things slow, wait for teams to be eliminated, wait for the last few, circles, last few teams, and then take the fight that they need. Because again, we have seen 4MV single-handedly take care of three teams at once. So numbers advantage is not something that they are really scared of. But then again, you wouldn't want to waste your energy on a fight that you know you won't win.
Liquid this time around has spotted Jiggle. He has been tagged up quite a bit, but on the other part of the map, we have even Stalwart Esports joining a battle. Right now, what we can see is IHC trying to dominate over the players of Team Raw Official. Ziol on the ground, Demo on the ground. Raw Official, the only good thing for them is that the player knocked out is in a position where he can be given a revival.
Absolutely. IHC still has two players to fight with. However, Raw officials will have numbers advantage once the player is revived. In the meanwhile, Stalwart Esports leading to damage, and this is going to be pretty difficult to go forward with because Stalwart Esports with those numbers will be having a hard time going forward. However, on this one, I'm going to take a completely out of the blue name, and I guess I'm going to go with HVDC to actually win this match. Fritz. What do you think?
Oh, HVDC. Nah, nah, not that particular team. Wait a second. Let me see all the teams and their positions. You just took the team in the center, right?
No,
I'll go
HVDC is on Rozhok.
ah pseudo center then. I'd say. I'd
Yeah.
go with the 4MV. Haha, safe prediction. I know they lost a player, but the rotation probably will get them behind one team, and they'll be able to eliminate them with super ease, and then probably move in from there to get their chicken. So yeah, that's my prediction for the game.
I'm wondering one thing though, Fritz.
Hmm.
Who do we actually call a winner? Let's say one team gets the chicken, but they have only two frags, they have 12 points. But then someone is still gonna be on a higher leaderboard position. Let's say they came second, but they had like 8 frags and they have 14 points in total. Then who is the winner? The one with the chicken dinner or the one who got the first position on the leaderboard? Which prediction stands right?
Now that's something we leave for our producer to decide. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean he is the one who has to give us that point on the
our
correct
almighty
predictions
lord.
while our leaderboard.
Yes.
So we will leave it on him to decide. But right now, Stalwart Esports, they're just getting pushed in upon by Leo. And that's one way to get another knock. Yetauta first with a vehicle and
Oh
then turns around.
goodness.
Just found the moment of the day, Hana. What a frag from Yetauta.
Out of nowhere, Stalwart Esports comes out of the game, all because of Leo's Yetauta. That's gonna be difficult to fight off, but let's see.
Well, Leo Esports, that's a very good way. That's a very convincing way, I'd say, to eliminate a team. Now, I think, yeah, Starboy is also not surviving for very long. Because right now, Liquid, for some reason, he has figured out that the best weapon in this entire game is a vehicle. You literally just need to run over a particular player to get that knock, and that's the easiest way to get a knock in the entire game. Now, he will be spotted out by the players of Team Mabetex Esports, but yeah, the knocks are not coming in because Mabetex, for now, not accurate enough.
Well, let's find out how this goes forward because as of now, we still have 11 teams surviving and we're already on stage 4. This gotta be slightly damaging for quite a few teams because soon enough there will be way too much population in small enough area and teams will be getting frags every single place and you'll be taking shots on yourself from every single place. That's gonna be a ruckus. But well, bad intentions holding onto a compound at this moment has their eyes set onto DE Venom, but in those vehicles, are you going to be actually able to take this fight? Because the Venom might just be able to take this away with themselves. They too have acquired a compound, but then again, Rambo is getting down on HP, needs to be able to recover himself, and there's a third party opportunity waiting for Deadeye's guys.
Who HVDC though? They get a knock on the player of 4MV. And Apex is able to trade Sanchi out and will essentially just finish him off. So HVDC, they just have two players standing according to the right hand side board that we have. One of them is knocked out. Now East is getting that revival. Arrow is still down on the ground. That's an interesting spot to start their rotation from. Now Bere needs to come back up, and I think HVDC will have their eyes on. I don't see a way through which 4MV will just continue the game from here on, because they will essentially be sometime pushed by the players of maybe HVDC or the team from the right hand side. So that is something I don't think so will go in the favor of 4MV. And maybe Aaron just gets back. He just gets back to his teammate. And no, that's not happening. Baron just spots him, shoots him down, gets the frag. DRS though, on the other hand, is started off good. That's a knock onto domain over here.
Absolutely. DRS looking good right now, and the votes that came in earlier are showing a great image of what's really happening. They have 3 frags to themselves, and alongside, all 4s are surviving. However, double the frag numbers, and you get Leo Esports.
6 to their name. Huh? That's a great observation. Although DRS, The thing is, they haven't been performing that great. So for them to win this round, or maybe for them to get top 3 in this game, is very important. And important will be for the player of DRS to find a helmet too, because he's just cracked away, probably while taking a fight. BIDX CMF again have a really, really good compound which they are holding. Yeah, DE Venom even have a better place considering that there is a dip to work around. But let's see how both these teams just use their position to advantage. On the other hand, Leo once again into battle. And Jetta Uta is on a rampage with his DBS.
Oh goodness. Leo is doing a great job right now, and I feel like this is about the time when we start switching our predictions. However, that would result in a shit, so I'm not going to do that just yet. But 4MB in the meanwhile. Why is it
Wow, what
always
a knock.
happening, Fritz? Why does every time your chosen team starts beating up my chosen team? The same thing happened the last time. NBeSports took away SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. And now HVDC and 4MB are in a fight of their own.
Yeah, well, East is not in a good spot. He might just get eliminated, but Ryuk has to be careful. He also gets shot in the head, so needs to reset back up. The biggest question is 4MB, even do they get the revival or not? Because the players were very far away. But wait a minute, Leo, Yeta Uta down on the ground. So their star player is away for this battle. And stronger FAKELOVE now have that upper hand in this fight, maybe. Unless, of
I
course, DRS come in with a third party.
Exactly, DRS will cause some problems with that third party situation, and with the mollies already with the vehicles already burst out, it's gonna be another damage that is being dealt onto Leo. But then again, Leo is gonna be able to be all back on threes because the revival is coming in. But wait a second, did raw officials just move across them and not take down even a single player? Okay, never mind. There's backup coming in that is gonna be taking fights with Leo. But wait a second. Leo Novaks already picking up fights and winning them, but Yeta Uta and Liquid already taken down by two different teams in the meanwhile. And a run over takes completely Leo out of the charts. Good number of frags that have been acquired by them, although.
Yeah, and now Sky is the only one surviving. So he is trying to somehow get a spot inside the zone and survive. That's not a good area because you just might get bombarded, and DE Venom, they sure will take care about the position that you have. Now, Mabetex, if we talk about them, surrounded by DRS from the upper hill, but I don't think so. DRS will feel comfortable pushing in. Sussex just takes down Jiggle from Ross. That's another frag for the players of DEADEYES. Guys, and Venom Rambo's nade will connect. Even Brew goes down to the molly over here. So 4MB, that's a very good fight that they've won. A 3v4 battle just goes in their favor.
Absolutely, and even after being in a fight that was so risque, 4MB is able to survive with all threes. They already lost one player long back, but still all three are able to move forward. And as we discussed earlier, numbers advantage is not going to be something that 4MB is going to have to worry about. And in the meanwhile, the four frags that they have are going to be putting them also in the top 7 teams. That means now the placement points are also going to keep starting to add on. Every single time a team is lost, they will have an added placement point to themselves. Not a bad position. But in the meanwhile, Leo, even after 9 frags, has been taken down on the 11th position itself, which does not look good considering there is going to be no position point benefit that they can acquire.
Mabetex though, still in that compound, need to move what around 75 meters to get inside the zone. And for now, they don't have any sort of opponents that are pinning them down. Everyone is just very far away, so should be an easy rotation for them inside. Now DRS is the team who also have to get in, and area in front of them is literally empty except for BIDX CMF. If they do not get an angle, I don't think so DRS will really have any troubles getting inside the zone.
Well, let's find out. Because DRS with all four surviving does have a very promising situation for themselves, but then again, I wouldn't count 4MB out just yet. Bad intentions on their hands, and again, bad intentions is on a good enough position, but zero frags to them. The consistency that we were requiring from bad intentions that cannot be acquired just by positioning because being able to win this is gonna be difficult already, and 6 points is not good enough. However, currently it doesn't seem like they're even gonna be in the top two to begin with.
There's a vehicle just away, just on the other side of this ridge, where there's a player of Team IAW surviving. There's a solo player. so he probably might not shoot, but for him, it's better to take care of him early on. Meanwhile, Wally from Mabetex Esports also falls. So it's all down to Leo OP. And as we were talking about, I mean, Mabetex, they were not having a good run. They were not having some good points to their name. It seems like the streak still continues for all these players.
Absolutely. Mabetex Esports IW with no frags at all. Even though they are in the top 7, they are not looking good at all. One of them might just have one single point, that is from placement, and the other might have two. But then again, only on the basis of placement points, you cannot really survive the leaderboard. It's not about surviving a map, it's not about surviving a game, it's about surviving all the way to the leaderboard, acquiring yourself good enough points, and making sure you are able to walk into the grand finals, because that is what this whole ruckus is all about. But in the meanwhile, there are players being taken off from the side of the Rise guys, and 4MV also having one knocked down, getting eliminated completely. And without East, the only way for 4MV is gonna be north or south, depending on whether they go up or down in the leaderboards.
Now look at this. Leo, he gets a net connection onto the players of team DRS, and DRS, they are just being third party. That's how they fall, huh? It's all down to Killer, who's all alone. Cannot do much about it. DIT, yes, they were throwing in some good nades, but they just third partied an entire team and they have been taken care of. For MV, I do see two players still surviving, but this game is going to be super hard considering we have a lot of teams who still have more than two players in the game. DEADEYES guys being one of them, Venom DE being the other one around. But the good thing for 4MV, the zone is near to them. Although DE Venom have the best possible zone inside the zone. Best possible place inside the zone. But yeah, let's see how do they use it entirely is up to them.
I feel like 4MV already did the job that they came to do, because the only team that they are actually competing against right now is going to be NBeSports. NBeSports got eliminated with one single point. And if you talk about 4MV, even if they get shattered completely in this particular position itself without any more placement points, they will have 7. And that's good enough to make the lead between 4MV and NBeSports into a double digit number. I guess that's all that they needed for now, and they are going to be able to capitalize on that situation. But in the meanwhile, this game definitely might go towards the way of Venom DE, and that will put Venom DE in a much better position. But then again, the main goal of actually contracting the lead from the top teams is not going to be successful, at least against 4MV. With the NB Esports, it definitely did work out.
BIT CMF. Now, that's a team I have my eyes on because they were able to get the chicken previous time. And I talked about this getting in the third, fourth spot with decent amount of frags. 7-8 points is what I asked from them. They have been able to get 3 players in top 5 for the entire team. So how do they progress is my biggest question over here. DRS has been completely pinned and they cannot move inside the zone except for Delta, I suppose. That Delta is already inside the zone. And Dante unfortunately does not have any more nades. So it has to be done with his gun itself. So let's see if he first of all is able to take down DRS in front of him. And after that, how does he want to continue? Delta making a run for this. A molly to make sure that Dante is not able to peek out from that particular angle. And considering DRS only have 2 players standing, they're doing a good job while trying to enter inside the zone.
They sure are, and if they are able to take bad intentions out of the game, it's gonna be a sad start for bad intentions, because even if they are able to survive for this long, having no frag points at all on board is not going to be the best situation for the team, because again, being able to make it to the top 2, it does not seem like a good possibility for the set of bad intentions. They've already lost a player, another one is knocked down, Knight is already on very little HP. It's all on to Jax to be able to jack up the team and make it acquire the position that's required. I don't see that happening though. Bad Intentions has a lot of eyes set on them, and that's a lot of fights that they are becoming a part of. In the meanwhile, D Venom losing players, the numbers are getting equalized on all these teams, and now finally the biggest number stays with DEADEYES guys, who are currently not participating into the fights, just being a bystander for the meanwhile.
Look at that. What the problem over here for DEADEYES guys and DE Venom is the third party from 4MV. So that is something that they need to really take care of first. Now, smokes are being thrown in, and I suppose 4MV is already inside the zone, and this smoke will help 4MV. Deadeye's guys, they just want to do one thing. They just want to isolate the players of Team DE Venom while not losing any of their players out. So this smoke will help their cause over here. But the problem is 4MV, they are rapidly taking up space behind the players of Team DE Venom. And if that happens, Deadeye's guys will essentially have to fight off 4MV.
Absolutely, they do have that mindset now. Acquiring the position, acquiring the intel is something that Shifu sir has already done. But 4MV marching right into the compound, taking care of
Oh, third
the
party.
Venom. But no, they do get third party. They are gonna be eliminated. However, fifth position and 6 frag points, not gonna be a bad situation. Already on a double-digit scoreline for this map itself, and that's great for a start. But like, let's see how the game is going to progress for the remaining teams, because we still have 4 on board, and that's a very tiny area to acquire. Every single team has picked up one direction and they are holding on to it. Everyone is going to be aware of each other's position soon enough, but then picking the right battle for yourself is going to be the most important thing to find yourself in top 2, and top 2 is the first goal right now.
Hmm. For now, though, if you see the players of Deadeye's guys, Sussex, Shivu sir, Precious sir, all these players have a really good chance at converting this game. Now, DE Venom again as a team has the zone, has all these things for themselves. But now this play zone shrinking, DE Venom will be the center of attraction for all of these squads. And if they just get spotted down, yeah, it's not going to be a fun time, and that's exactly what happens. Krita was making a run for it. Even Rambo falls, and Deadeye's guys, suddenly the numbers advantage seems to be a very big thing. Now Delta, he is just crawling, should be spotted now. I can see him on the minimap, but the players of Deadeye's guys cannot. Finally, Precious trains his crosshair. Even Jax is DRS CMF down to just one player standing, and Deadeye's guys, they are moving and they will get that chicken dinner for themselves.
Absolutely brilliantly done from the side of Red Eyes. Guys were able to secure a chicken that they required very well. And as you mentioned in the beginning itself, they are in bottom 3, and this is going to be a huge bump that's going to put them in a much better position, which is going to be something that we are going to be keeping our eyes out for. However, Bad Intentions could not continue the kind of performance we were expecting. Not really any flags to their name, to be very honest, but then again, that's something we'll deal with once we get to it.
Make it clap.
Welcome back, everyone, one more time to PMPL SA 2023 Fall Season. I'm your host, Anna, and with me on desk is Fritz. Fritz, this was quite an unexpected game that we witnessed today. We were not expecting to see Deadeye's guys make such a leap. And overall, it feels like they are going to be able to acquire themselves a position on the first page, to be very honest, with that huge chunk of points that they've stolen.
Yeah, that's true. Somehow this team has been able to, get themselves back. Again, a team from the bottom table has been able to get a chicken, and now will definitely create some ruckus around the bottom 16
Yep.
teams. So that's not bottom 6, bottom 4 teams. So that's something We'll have to see what impact did it have on the overall standings. I think we'll probably see that after game number 3. But it's a good game for DRS. Even DEADEYES CMF,
Absolutely.
probably they have 0 frags to their name. But because they were able to get at least that second spot, 6 points, that's the bare minimum that I set for them. That's the bare minimum they get.
Yup, I mean, I was not thinking that BID CMF.
Uh-huh.
It's difficult to keep the letters aligned. Let me just say
Uh-huh.
bad intentions. That's
Uh-huh.
much easier for me. But yeah, I did not think they would make it to the second position at all because they had no fights that they were acquiring. They had no
Yes.
frag numbers that they were acquiring for a really, really long time till
Mhm.
the end. And I was like, okay, you're playing the rat game and you are gonna be taken off guard as a rat. But then no pest control arrived, no rodent control arrived, and they were able to secure themselves all the way until the second position, and that's decent enough. I was expecting more, but good enough. Actually, to
Something is
continue
better
with.
than nothing, is what I'll say
That's true.
for their situation. So that's something BID will take into account. Will probably play a little bit better in the next game because I think 0 frags is what they had. We'll have to check that once again, which we will, I think, get in the match standings. But talking about the MVP, it is going to be Sussex Sir from DEADEYES guys who got 6 eliminations overall. That's a good number.
That's a great number, to be very honest. Specifically, if you're one of the teams that is really, really struggling, every single point matters. And actually, if you talk about the teams that are on the bottom side, they do have very little difference in their points. This 6 itself is going to give a boost, and then you have placement points, and then you have frag points coming in from the rest of the team as well. So that's really going to put this team on a much better position. But let's see who else was doing a great contribution for their own teams, and we are going to be seeing Leo Yetauta. Obviously that name had to be there. He gave us the play of the day. And then there's Killer Whitey and Apex 922 from DRS and 4MB alongside Precursor from the side of DEADEYES guys.
Hmm. That's I'd say Yetauta was one of the players who we'll have to talk about a little more because that DBS, the way that he played, that was something completely insane from this guy. He just went in, got all the frags, and was really able to show a lot of impact.
Absolutely, and look at Leo Esports. They have 9 frags in total, putting themselves literally onto the third position. That's a great position, to be very honest. However, DRS with those 8 frags and the third position with 5 placement points puts themselves on the second with 13 total. But bad intentions. One single elimination point is what they have on board. It's decent overall score 7, but not good enough. I mean, I guess replicating this is going to be very difficult without any frags. Being able to acquire that position point is not going to be easy going forward.
Mabetex, look at that, 3 points only. This is a team which we were having high hopes from. NBeSports, another one of those surprising teams who just got 1 point to their name. So all these teams really need to buckle up. IHC, again, we did not expect a 0 point performance from them, but yeah, that's what happens when you're a little bit too negligent, I'd say. But now it all comes down to the second map of Erangel. A, B, D, and E. These are the groups that will be playing this second game of Erangel here on. And Anna, if I were to ask you, what is your expectation? What are your expectations from this particular game?
From this particular game, I want to see teams try really hard to go ahead, take early fights, take some frag points for
Okay.
themselves, and they then play slightly passive towards the end, and then again come back with full action once you have secured yourself at least 3 placement points. Because again, this is going to be one of those maps where you get a good chance to reacquire the lead.
Yes.
Because 4MB is sitting this one out, and they are the ones ruling the leaderboards right now. So you get a shot at yourself to go ahead and make sure that they do not sustain that position. Specifically for NBeSports, this is going to be one that they need to focus on a lot because the
Yes.
lead is going on increasing. The gap is going on increasing between NBeSports and 4MB.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? 1 point for NBeSports, but 4MB were able to at least get 6 points from the game. So
9 in total.
9 in total. That's
Yep.
even more. So this gap will obviously just keep on increasing if we see this sort of a performance coming in from both these teams. So yes, for NBeSports, it will be an important game. 4MB, as you pointed it out, they will be sitting this game out. And Erangel, if 4MB sits it out, that means military base is empty. Now, is there some
True.
team that has done their homework and drops into military base if the playing part supports it? Now, that's one of the questions that I'll have. And Pochinki is again another drop spot which I'd say is interested is interesting if it's contested. So I'd like to see some second teams dropping in that location too.
Absolutely. Also, Georgopol is one of the areas that is pretty heavily, populated in the
Yes.
beginning itself, and it's again a great area to sustain multiple teams at the same time. But then again, the thing that I was talking about, take some early
Mhm.
fights, get yourself some 5 points, and then move forward with a slightly passive nature. That's going to be something that's going to be very possible towards the area of Georgopol, because again, you get great loot to go ahead with and fight for your
Mhm.
own points in that situation.
But yeah, we all are ready for this final game of Erangel, I'd say, because this is the final time that we'll see Erangel. And hey,
For
let's see
today.
how does this game pan out. We talk about, oh my god, this
Oh
this zone
goodness.
is again going from military base. Now who drops there? Are expecting this, we see multiple teams drop. That no, that 4MV is not there. Let's drop. We have more than 2 or 3 teams which just drop in this location. So that's again another big question that I have from all of these teams. And let's see. Nova Repna will be a good spot to drop into. It will be glidable. So I think Stalwart Esports are better off dropping in that
Oh,
particular spot.
nice. Stalwart Esports already take their leap of faith, driving themselves all the way towards Novo Repnoy, because they are gliding towards the eastern side of the map as of now. We are seeing Seal take a drop as well, but they are also not trying to stick to the military base itself. They are probably trying to go towards Quarry or Primorsk. And I mean, a lot of teams did take that leap of faith, but nobody seems to be sticking at Sosnovoka military base. Or is it? Is JMEX gonna do that? No, they're split up.
Yeah, well, JMEX, they I think as soon as they saw those parachutes out in the air, they were like, yeah, let's just not go here. Let Stalwart Esports have the spot, and maybe we just drop around uh, two different areas. So if the zone goes all the way south, our other two players can help us rotate back as soon as possible. I think that's the idea for this 2-2 split that the players of team JMEX have taken. That's a very interesting split. But again, another similar zone to what we saw in the previous one has gone all the way north. All these teams, JMEX trying to be a little bit too sneaky. Stalwart Esports trying to be a little bit too sneaky. Stuck on the southern side of the map. They will have a long way to rotate, so it's better that they loot very quickly.
Well, let's see. This is going to be slightly difficult for Solid Esports to go back from, because again, there's quite a lot of teams that are waiting in the northern periphery for them to enter into the circle. But well, talking about the circle itself, quite a lot of the area is inside water, which means the real estate that the teams can actually acquire is going to be slightly low. That can result in more clashes. So the thing that we were talking about, to take the game slightly passive towards the mid phase, might not really work out, considering the amount of teams, the amount of players that are going to survive into such a little real estate. But well, in the meanwhile, Leo Esports still working on a very, very diverse split. There's players all over. They're scattered like my emotions in real life. They're all over the place. But this does not look very optimal for the team, because they have quite a lot of teams that are going to be targeting them soon enough.
BIDX CMF again going for a very similar drop. They've gone towards the city of Stolberg. Probably wanted to go to Kameshki too, but the zone did not. The plane part did not support it. So now they have a vehicle that is moving towards Kameshki, or maybe just around the small little compounds of Stolberg. So that's again a very interesting drop spot that has been taken out by the players of Team BADX CMF. It will for sure help them because the rotation won't be a bar over here. They can easily rotate inside the zone. They also have a fight if they want to take it against the players of Team T2K, 7E shooting range. These are the two places that the side of Team T2K is looting. Deadeyes guys, this time around, I like to see an adjustment from their side too. If you see this sort of a zone, you know that this is going shooting range. So probably loot, take your time, maybe let the first two zones close by, but then rotate in as soon as possible rather than being stuck and losing a player early on. So that's the only adjustment I really want to see from the side of Team Deadies guys. And yeah, let's see if they're able to make it.
Well, definitely, that's going to be something that we should be keeping our eyes out for because, again, Deadeye's guys, bad intentions, these are some of the teams that really need to make sure that they are showing up again and again consistently for multiple times to be able to place themselves in a good enough position on the leaderboard going forward. But yes, I do want to see what HVDC has in store. A very promising start is what they gave us, and a lot of hopes is what they gave me. But then I'm not seeing similar performance come in from them for a really long time. NBeSports is a consistent team. This is gonna be again one of the most important matches for them because 4MB is not playing this, and this is the time that they get to reacquire the lost lead for themselves. And talking about Stalwart Esports, they are pretty, thinly spread onto the map. But then again, that's not going to be a problem because there's nobody who's daring to walk into the military base.
Yeah, well, Stalwart Esports will have all the loot for themselves. JMEX, look at the rotation that they gave. It's through water rather than using the bridge. Now, that's very interesting for me. Why do you use water so early on if you want to rotate? I mean, you could have really used the bridge, asked for the other two JM players to just come in and provide some sort of a support. But yeah, that's not the case. They use the waterway to get their rotation done, and now the remaining two players will probably just jump back, get those players in the vehicles, and rotate to their merry way. Now, HVDC, if we talk about them, Pochinki is the city that they have. Rogue still is looking for good weapons. Aero has a Scarel. Pochinki in the recent days have sort of deteriorated, I think, in terms of loot because I do not see a very good loot for the players of Team HVDC.
Exactly. Being able to find out the right loot is going to be slightly difficult for HVDC, even though it's a huge area. As you said, the loot has deteriorated in Pochinki, and that's going to be pretty difficult to capitalize on because you have your rotations, your fights, everything based on your drop location, and your drop location itself is not going to be supporting your desires of fighting the right way, right weapon. Then it's going to be difficult to invest into any fights at all whatsoever. In the meanwhile, ASL just scoping out the area, finding the right position for themselves, and walking right into the circle. On the way, they do have compounds, but they're not going to loot any because they have the right weaponry for themselves and great gear as well. Level 3 vest already onto Gangstack. Gangstar, sorry.
Ah, well, gangster. Now, just also, even if we talk about the players of Team Sealy Sports, this is again one of those teams which were able to get a chicken in the map of Sanhok. But after that, they have been positioned very low in the leaderboard. So they also have to take care about how do they want to continue in this game. Now, all four players, I think, in a vehicle. Now, that's a scary thing. One team is all it takes to eliminate you out of the game.
That's true. One team is all it takes. And sometimes, if it is a strong enough player like Heta Ulta, then not even the whole team. To be very honest, that's one player that has opened my eyes onto one new team that is going to be Leo Esports and find out what they are up to going forward. But yeah, JMEX currently trying to scope out the region quite well and making sure that they get themselves a spot which will give them enough free frag points to capitalize on because again position points is something that they're not really able to depend on just yet. And I8W, oh my god, this team, how many times does it take for a team to have bad starts for them to finally realize what they are doing wrong?
Stalwart Esports, though, they prefer buggies over Dacia. Now that's though a very good thing because the mobility that buggy offers is a very good thing to achieve. But yeah, for now they've got one frag. They are looting his body around the region of farm and only have to rotate what 1,000 meters inside the zone should not be a problem for them.
Absolutely, and Solid Esports, we know, do not really care if they have all their players online. They just want to take the fights. So they wouldn't really have a problem even if they lost a couple of players, even though that does not seem like a possibility. They're definitely going to be able to make it into the circle without much problem. But in the meanwhile, finally, Mabetex Esports showing up to the occasion, and the moment I say it, they start dropping. Oh goodness, Mabetex Esports. Definitely a team that I was having big hopes for. Just shattering my dreams.
Oh, King of Spades. I mean, the way that this team has been performing in the previous few days has been very good. Now, the remaining two players of Mabetex, they do come in, but the DBS is still reigning supreme. Look at Zero's HP. Not a lot. Mamba, close range battle. Faisal comes in with his support, and now it's all down with Desert. Leo though is also still surviving. All right, so it's still a team that is on their footing. Now Desert wants to push in. Will get another knockout to Mamba. Why are the players of King of Spades avoiding these 1v1s? They lose Mamba because of it, and even though they get 4 frags, King of Spades, they lose a player but are able to at least eliminate the players of Team Mabetex Esports.
Well, the revival will come in for the side of King of Spades. Faisal will be back on foot, but again, Mamba's loss is gonna be one that they are gonna regret once they start investing into fights that are not really favorable to their side. But well, in the meanwhile, we do have quite a lot going on onto the map. Even though Mabetex Esports did get taken out soon enough, we are seeing a lot of teams trying to make their way back into the circle. It's still not an easy run for DRS. They're all the way into Yesnaya Polyana, still trying to find their way and still trying to beat the blue. However, there's a lot of teams gatekeeping the eastern edge. Zarki is the only area that stays open for holding. Everything else is going to be a hard luck. DRS might not have the best shot.
T2K though, look at this Turulov. Does he want to take that fight, or is he getting away from there? I suppose he's getting away from there because he just saw the players of Team BIDX CMF come into this particular direction, and even Rick says, "Yeah, I'm also out of here." BID is coming in full force. They have been having good day today. Yeah, just let's not fight them out over here and be on our merry way. So they will be able to rotate away. T2K Esports. This is again another team which played good on day number 1, but has been lost ever since.
Exactly. We are trying to see teams that will bring consistency into the game. Being a one hit wonder is not going to get you anywhere. Not when the point structure is what it looks like, not when there are bonus matches involved, not when there are bonus points for all of your positionings in the week, and not when all of that works as an initial to start off the grand finals with. But well, I guess that's going to be a long shot for the side of bad intentions just yet, because the way they're performing so far, it does not seem like they're going to have a very easy time entering into the grand finals.
DRS on the other hand, Gyante is able to take down quite a bit of players of DRS, and BIDX CMF will be able to do the rest. Even T2K joined action over there. So, a very unlucky, I'd say, engagement for the players of Team BIDX CMF. 3 of them are down. One just might go down to the play zone, and the 4th one surviving is also being pushed out. Now, Rick, he is in a 1v2 where Knight is very low. He goes down, and then Dante also falls. Great shots from Rig in this situation. And just the DBS, just a regular day for a DBS user. That's what just happened over here.
Oh goodness. T2K. Well done. Well done. They are finally looking like they're finding their footing into the game. Illuminate. Still on the verge. There is the support of Blue Zone for the side of Octopus, but then again, T2K does know very well where the attack can come in from. So they're going to chase the blue, but from a different direction, and find themselves back into the game with 3 frags and no man loss at all whatsoever. Brilliantly done from the side of T2K. But then again, replication of it is going to be very essential to their sustenance onto the leaderboards.
Oh, look at this. Another fight breaking out. Jora was a little bit over aggressive, because of which he is punished. And once again, look at the DBS. It just goes bob and gets another player down. Now, No Fear is surviving all alone. Jora wants that revival very desperately, and No Fear is lucky. If the nade just blasted 1 second earlier, he could have been taken down. But he survives. Another nade from No Fear, just hoping to get that confirmation on maybe onto Sussexer. But Precious, third party from Raw Officials, that is something you'll need to keep an eye on, guys.
Exactly. Deadies guys has to be very careful not to get sandwiched in this situation. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming only has one single player who's on full HP, and the other one does not have enough to sustain with, but the healing is coming in. and Jora might also be able to fight off soon enough. In the meanwhile, the nades coming in onto DEADEYES, guys, are gonna be causing quite a lot of fiasco. But look at that. The nades not standing any chance against bullet shots. How? Slayer is again knocked.
Oh my god, no fear. See, for some reason, he's tossing out dates and Deadies have decided not to push him out. Now, that's a very big blunder that has been made by the players over here. And now, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, they will be able to eliminate the whole squad with a little bit of help from Stalwart Esports. Two of the players also got that revive back. And for some reason, I mean, I'd say poor game presence or poor game knowledge, the whole squad of DEADEYES guys has been eliminated. But now even T2K is under assault. Or probably they tried to assault the players of I8WO, but ended up losing one of their own.
Well, we'll find out how that turns out, because again, the farther you go into the game, the more you require every single teammate of yours to survive. This time the circle is gonna have quite some waterway in the right center, and around that we can see the teams trying to acquire their positions. It's still a couple of teams that are not even trying to move in towards the circle just yet, because the shooting range fight will be taken on until the shooting range is running out of bullets. In the meanwhile, though, the center of the circle has been taken down by King of Spades, and they might just be able to convert this one, because they've been delivering good performance. We did see quite a lot of growth recently in them, but then again, carrying it forward is something that we would want to see.
Look at this. Psychogen goes down and suddenly Faceboy just tosses a net towards Domain. And now Domain is pushing in with the DBS, just wants to play around the smoke. NBeSports in a very big problem. They lose Psychogen so early on. Akazir is also in a position where he cannot get the revival, and even Mondo falls on the back lines. Faceboy, the only one standing, and probably the only one who will get them some position points.
Well, let's see how the situation unfolds, because right now it seems like I8 will be pulling on the fold card for themselves. In the meanwhile, JMEX, though, acquiring onto Seal, Leo, another team to keep the eyes out for, already guarding the gate, trying to third party onto the gatekeepers and the invaders. This is such a smart move. Will Leo be able to capitalize on the numbers, though, is going to be the first question. In the meanwhile, Seal gets eliminated completely, though.
Starboy and Snipe, these are the only two players standing. So JMEX, they have to make a decision. Probably are hoping to get that revival onto Frag. But now Snipe being shot from a very far away angle will at least be able to get inside the compound. The question is, does he save the buggy or not over there? Because that is going to be the only way that they are able to rotate away from there, unless they have 100 smokes in their backpack. Other than that, Leo Esports, they have a compound for themselves just around the periphery of the bridge. The T2K Rig, on the other hand, gets eliminated, so that's another squad just being taken away out of the game. And one by one, these teams just keep falling.
Absolutely, and falling like that is not going to be helpful at all. We are already in a point where one single team that gets eliminated now will be still on 0 points, and I think it might very well be I8, because they do not have much to live by. But in the meanwhile, NB Esports, again, one of the teams that Fritz was delivering great performance for the first 2 days, suddenly taking such a huge dip. This is not looking good for NB Esports.
Not at all. And see, once again, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming now. The only two players surviving, Jora and Nima. Nima is cooking a nade, throws it out. It's a good one, and we'll get that knockout to Gangsta. Some third party shot through the smokes are also being thrown in. But Nima at least makes sure that he is able to get one. Down to very little HP. This spam not connecting. Nima hiding in the corner. Pops the first aid and gets popped in the head too. ASL, they lose a player, but at least are able to get the entire squad of Team SKYLIGHTZ out of the game.
Absolutely, one of the teams that you need to make sure that you're closing in the gap with, because the first two teams definitely are not giving much wiggle room, specifically for MB itself. However, NB Esports not showing up to the occasion the way we were expecting them to. But ASL, another promising team, they have 6 flag points to themselves, and I am hoping to see this team actually be able to take the chicken, because they are doing good enough, but they're just not doing what it's required to do to get that chicken dinner. In the meanwhile, HVDC still fighting the zone. Still fighting the zone. Aero, what's up?
Ooh, I think he just wants to get some frags or maybe provide some sort of cover fire to his teammate. Meanwhile, ASL, they still are very good on the trigger. Yeta Uta, who sort of was a star for me in the previous game, has been taken down, and Leo cannot do anything about it because he's outside the zone. The revival's not an option, and now Leo only have to play with 3 players standing.
And not even 3 anymore, because look at the way the shots are coming in from the side of ASL. They will be able to knock another. And if that happens, then it might be very difficult for Leo to actually survive for long. In the meanwhile, ASL already becoming one of the top 8 teams to survive in this particular match. And I feel like HVDC has a great position advantage to themselves.
Chiplot, he'll go down to the water. He wanted to come up and get some, just breathe some fresh air. Well, that's not the case. He will go down and has also been spotted down. So no more reviving opportunity for Slipknot to Leo left with just 2. ASL, they have their eyes set on the players of Leo players. Liquid is, I think, first on the menu, and after that, Noah will follow up. JMEX on the other hand, look at that snipe. I think he's also using water to rotate towards that particular position. But because of this shift, if you look at this, what it has done is it is forcing the players towards the shore of the river. So even ASL at some point in time will have to go towards the main island. And this will harm a lot of these teams. Nova spraying snipe down. He also has been taken care of. ASL, they are just dishing out damage from this part of the map.
As of now, ASL with the numbers that they have on board does look like a very strong contender. But however, we cannot count out King of Spades. This is one of the teams that just shows up out of nowhere and then squeezes themselves into the top 3. This is a pattern that has been being followed by the players of King of Spades. In the meanwhile, though, HVDC finally surviving for long enough to actually have placement points, but JMEX, will they be able to fight this off? Because this does not seem like one of the fights that can be converted into anything by Starboy.
Let's see. Praveen, on the other hand, has been able to take down one of the players of Team King of Spades over there. Okay. KOS still surviving. Now, that's a great thing to show to us. Sanchi spraying down ASL. They do take chip damage, but that's not enough to get that knock. And suddenly, if you look at the zone, it has gone all in the favor of HVDC. We were not asked about the prediction, but I would have definitely predicted HVDC. So that's on our producer for not giving me 1 point. But yeah, HVDC, great spot for them. ASL, only thing you can do is dish out damage, because as soon as you try to use the bridge, you just might be taken care of, and you already have to deal with the players of Team IAWO, who has just taken down Chari in the process.
Well, currently with the top 6 teams, the area keeps on contracting, and one after the other they keep starting facing each other off. Raw officials right now with lesser numbers on board will be in trouble. The revival has been denied, and now Sky will be trying to take up a fight in which there is not much that can be done by XOXOX, but there are teams present on the background that they are very aware of, and King of Spades trying to use someone else for the frag that they need.
King of Spades. For some reason, Deathstorm is still in water to survive, not get spotted by any player up on top of some hill which he does not see. So that's a good decision. Raw official though, one part of the bridge and Jiggle on the other one. And it seems like none of them are inside the zone after this move. So that's not a very good thing. And in the next 1 minute 30 seconds, the zone will also completely close in. So how does Jiggle make it the other way around? Sky has already been taken care of, so no more Sky in the game for Raw official. Now, but how do they rotate in? HVDC, they really have a great hold into the zone. And Malik, he thinks that this is a safe spot, but the players of Team King of Space will just come in and maybe jump up and get another frag. Although, that's a good decision made by Malik. He just uses the vehicle, stays inside it, and just wants to heal himself up if it all comes to that.
Well, As of now, ASL with one more man loss is gonna have a hard time going forward. However, HVDC still surviving with all fours. This is gonna be something interesting. This might be the time that HVDC shines again with that jolt of electricity that they pumped into themselves. Another frag coming in, ASL taken down completely. Now King of Spades is gonna be one problem that needs to be dealt by. And alongside, there is a lot that HVDC will have to do just to make sure that this one can be converted into a victory. Raw officials already at a very low count though. Oh no.
Yeah, Faisal just confirms another frag. So I mean, it's good. It's good for the players of I'd say the King of Space that they are getting all these frags. It's all well and good. But the problem is you won't be able to get far with this. HVDC they already have solid ground. Look at Rick's position. Look at Aero's position. They've got them boxed in. So essentially, HVDC knows that all these players remaining are inside water, and we just need to get these frags. Now the vehicle will be spotted, and Aero is trying to blast it off so that he's able to get some frags. But yeah, as soon as Deathstorm tries to come up, he gets taken down. Faisal, though, has been able to get that trade. So, we still might have a battle on our hands from the players of Team King of Space. Exo X. Yeah, that's... I think I said it a little bit too early. Faisal has also been spotted down and it tossed his way. He will survive for now. But HVDC, they have this game in the back of their pocket.
Well, this back pocket definitely needs to be filled to the brim because right now HVDC is looking pretty strong. Kings of Spades not even able to come back to ground surface. A 1v4 between raw officials and HVDC. They are gonna be able to find Faisal's team, so I'm not even counting King of Spades into this.
Even the last remaining player cannot do much about this, and Faisal will just give away his life. Malik finally surfaces, dives back in, wasting time. That's what he's doing. Just wasting time because we know already it's a 1v4. It is HVDC who will easily be able to get that chicken. The only thing is they just want this flag, and I think Malik is making sure that this team does not get it. He will just die underwater and not give the frag to the players of Team HVDC. And that's a great thing to do. Why give extra points to your opponent? So he will be eliminated. And high voltage DC, they get that chicken dinner for themselves.
Well, there it is. HVDC finally getting themselves the chicken that they've been waiting for. It's gonna put them on to as well. And that's great. Great start for the team. I am hoping great things coming in from the side of HVDC. A lot of new names flashing onto our leaderboard, and they are all giving me hopes for this to become a much closer game. With 8 total eliminations and 18 points altogether, HVDC rocking the top positions for themselves and are going to be able to push themselves all the way to the first page of leaderboard just by slight.
Make it clap.
Welcome back everyone to PMPL SA 2023 Fall Season. I'm your host Anna and with me on desk is Fritz. Fritz, we saw another team trying to get themselves a chicken dinner, HVDC this time acquiring it, and a lot of new names shining on the flashboards. I'm saying this again and again, but it's really exciting to find out new teams trying to put their names up on the board, and you have been expecting a lot from a lot of teams. In the beginning itself, you said that we are seeing only and only Mongolian domination. We need to see more
Yes.
teams from more regions coming in as the representatives. Do you think you are going to be able to expect more from the rest of the regions now? There are a lot of names coming up.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, the previous three games have been chickens from various different teams. The only thing that I'm still concerned about is a consistent performance, which has been at least showed to me by one of these teams. King of Spades is a name which I've seen very common. I think do not remember them playing good in game number two, or probably they were sitting out. I do not exactly remember what's the case, but they've got top three both these games, at least in the map of Sanhok and in the map of Erangel over here. The way does not matter, it just does not, but them getting over here again and again is something that is very very cool. So would love to see where King of Spades stand after this sort of a performance. But if we talk about the MVP from this game, it is going to be ASL's player Sleepy with 5 frags. I thought we might have some representation over here from HUDC.
Absolutely thought so, but well, with those 5 eliminations, Sleepy puts himself on the MVP board, and this team did not survive very very long. They were good enough time, but not like towards the last exact circle. But like, I mean, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Color me impressed with 846 damage and only 88 healing. Absolutely mind blowing.
ASL, they had a good run only until the zone did not just push them away from their spot that they were trying to hold. So it's okay. I hope we do see a better performance from them in the upcoming matches. If we talk about the top players, we also have some representation over here from the players of team Stalwart Esports. So tops as well in the lobby with 4 eliminations to his name. Domain, if we talk about him, we also have him from IAWO. It is again one of those teams who are on the bottom charts. So great thing to see all these players perform a little bit better.
Absolutely, and this is a completely unexpected, top player board. We are seeing a lot of representation here, and I mean, Tops definitely does make it multiple times. But then, other than him, we are seeing a lot of new names show up, and that's good enough. But then again, in this particular match, the positioning has been pretty well. Like, I mean, 8 frags coming in from both HVDC and ASL, putting them in great positions for when numbers come in consideration. But then, do you think ASL will be able to acquire themselves the kind of leap that they need right now on the main leaderboard?
We'll have to see about that, because I think after game number 3 we usually see the overall standing. So we'll have a clear idea about what's happening. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming as well, 6 points to their name. I think they were 3rd overall in the leaderboard, and this will definitely help their cause. Stalwart Esports, only 4 points. DRS CMF. There's the consistency I was talking about. We cannot see a game with just 3 points to your name. Leo following up with 3. DRS also has 2 points. NBeSports falling very short. This was their game to close in the distance with the players of Team 4MV. It seems to be that they've missed it.
Exactly. But let's take a look at the overall leaderboard and understand how far NBeSports is now compared to 4MV. And look at that. It's 13 points difference between 4MV and NBeSports in total. The frag numbers itself is so huge. I mean, NBeSports in placement points does acquire a 3-point lead, but 4MV, the number of eliminations they have acquired, 16-point difference. Yeah,
4MV. They just have a very good lead. And SKYLIGHTZ is again another team which is slowly and steadily coming up. But look at King of Spades, 68 points and on the 6th spot. This was the team, I think, which if I remember properly, were on the 17th spot after day number 1. So they have jumped up quite a bit in terms of positioning. Now if we talk about the bottom 4, this time around it's Leo Esports, Mabetex, JMEX and we own Illuminate. These teams have to buckle up. Even I'd say Seal Esports, because it's just 38 points and this won't get you very far away for a very long period of time.
exactly. And I'm very worried for Seal Esports, IHC, T2K Esports, and Bad Intentions. Even though they have 1 chicken each, their points do not reflect anything good. That means the consistency is lacking. That means that you are not acquiring as many points as you are supposed to multiple times in a repetitive manner to actually put yourself in a great position. Being on the second page even after chicken dinners is not the best color on any team. But well, we have still quite a few games, and the one that we are going to be walking into right after this is going to be TDM.
Hey, TDM. Now that's a fun one. That's for sure a fun one, and would love to see how today's teams play. I again forgot the name, but we will,
Stronger
as soon
Fake
as we
Love
jump
and
into
Bad
the game, we will
Intentions.
see which players, which teams are going to play this fun little segment that we have for you guys. So yeah, excited for this. Let's see which team comes up in the TDM list. 4 rounds overall, then the grand finals, and the teams reaching the grand finals will obviously have a prize. $300 for the second one, $700 for the first one. Just to remind you guys, a total prize pool of $1,000 is what we have for this TDM championship. So yeah, this TDM championship is going to be fun, and let's just jump right into action and see which two teams are we talking about.
Stronger Fake Love and Bad Intentions. I think that's the teams that we're going to be going in with today. And yes, that's exactly who we have on board. Stronger Fake Love already acquiring the first frag point for themselves, but I somehow have better expectations from the side of Bad Intentions this time, because we are seeing great performance coming in from them. Again, a map that requires a lot of individual brilliance was won by them. So I'm hoping that the momentum stays on their side. But then again, the moment I start saying anything, the complete scenario changes itself. There's a jinx that comes into play, and Stronger Fake Love already on a 2 point lead, make it three, because there's a lot of aggression coming in from the side of STR Bekujin. However, Bad Intentions not very far behind, trying to fix things, trying to make their way back in. But then if you talk about the warehouse area in particular, there's not much presence inside it from either team. However, there are going to be positions that can be acquired outside the warehouse which give you a clear angle inside, and that's something that the teams would want to exploit right now. Bad Intentions very close to the warehouse might be able to acquire the region. If they do, that's going to be a very dominating position. However, if all of them are at the same exact point, they might lose everyone at the same time and make the warehouse a clear giveaway for the side of Stronger Fake Club. Nicely done from the side of Seniors, but that's not enough. Stronger Fake Love, there's only 1 point lead. You gotta make it a huger lead, and for Bad Intentions, you gotta cut this short, and they do. Finally, leading the numbers. Bad Intentions back in form. From here, if Bad Intentions is able to acquire themselves at least 9 to 10 points lead, they will be able to see themselves coming up on top of this match and making Stronger Fake Love leave the TDM arena in all. Because again, this is a single elimination round, isn't it, Fritz?
That's true, but it has been going very back and forth between stronger fake love and bad intention. So that's a very big problem for both these teams, because one, it just takes one squad elimination for you to entirely lose the control of the game. Now, Beko Jin, he thought he had some support from Senor from behind, which was not the case. Although once again, the trades just happen out perfectly, and bad intention end up with a point lead overall. That too has also been just taken away, and stronger fake love just doubtful just gets a double and has been able to just neutralize any sort of advantage that bad intentions had.
Look, this neutral situation is definitely putting Stronger Fake Love in the advantageous position as of now. But going forward, they will have to make sure that the utilities are deployed well. And look at that, already acquiring onto that stage with two players already having control of the warehouse, will be able to shut down Bad Intentions and Stronger Fake Love again coming up on top. CMF Knight using utility but becoming
Gone.
prey to one as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, this will be a little bit unfortunate because back and forth, if the trades were happening, it was good. But now, suddenly, stronger fake love, they have that advantage. They have 1 point advantage overall for themselves. But Dante just instantly pushes it and makes it all even for themselves. that's that's again something that was not expected by that particular player or by that particular team. Now, Knight has been tagged up quite a bit. Easy cleanup for Refuse and even gets a double on the back of it. Again, putting stronger fake love in a stronger position.
Absolutely, and being on the stronger position, they might just find themselves actually walking in for the next one, and Bad Intentions not being able to clarify their own position into the TDM going forward. But for now, Stronger Fake Love is not sticking to what we usually see the teams do. Generally, find out one sneaky angle and then from there make sure that the whole warehouse is covered, the whole outer region is covered. But that's not happening from the side of Stronger Fake Love. So let's see how this gun brilliance is gonna bring them on top, because the difference is not huge.
Yeah, well, the difference is definitely not huge. It's just of 2 points. And stronger fake love, they are making it extra. 34-32, just 6 frags needed for the side of Team Stronger X Fake Love. Shot upon from the back. The fight in warehouse is still going on. Jax holds it down, and BID they sort of make a comeback. The lead was once of 4 points, but has now just been reduced to 1.
The lead being reduced might also call for an equalizer soon enough, and once the equalizer comes in, Stronger Fake Love might not be able to hold on to the lead. And look at that, the equalizer comes in, but Stronger Fake Love acquiring another lead, another one being equalized. Bad Intentions constantly trying to bring the game back and forth, but then again, the
38,
victory
38.
is close enough. Yup, it's 2 more points. Any team could take this. It's close enough. Which one is it gonna be? Which one is it gonna be? Is the question. Utilities being traded constantly. But right now, Stronger Fake Love trying to escape the area, trying to find out if they can pin Bad Intentions from behind instead. Aggressive stance,
Oh,
and there's
1
another
point.
frag. 1 more point. It's a match point for the side of Bad Intentions, but Stronger
Oh,
Fake Love
Dante.
acquires it first.
Dante falls in the last second, even though he did the maximum heavy lifting for his team. But essentially, when it mattered the most, he was caught running and he was caught off guard. And just because of that, Stronger Fake Love will be moving forward in the lower brackets. Round number 2 is where this team will find themselves at. Their Bad Intentions XCMF. Good attempt, not good enough.
True that. Now, Stronger Fake Love will be facing off NBeSports going forward, and if they win, they might be able to continue their run and fight off whoever wins among T2K and Leo Esports. However, for today, this was the one TDM that we had, and
Mhm.
Stronger Fake Love coming up on top makes the victory theirs. Now, the last one that remains for round one is gonna be King of Spades versus JMEX. That will happen tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's a game we will be waiting for because they will be playing a very tough team. That's 4MV. So we'll have to see how does the winner of this battle, King of Spades and JMEX, pan out overall. But yeah, this was the fun game of TDM. Now we will be moving on to the main tournament back once again. So the map of Miramar is what awaits us, Sahana. That particular map, the land of DMRs and snipers, had been ruled by multiple different teams. There hasn't been a clear winner or a team that clearly plays it. I'd say consistently enough.
Exactly. We'll have to find out if any player is going to be able to acquire themselves the spot uh, that they require for going forward. Because again, this is very difficult right now. Going forward, we are going to be walking into Miramars, and I have
Hmm.
different expectations this time. What do you think, Fritz? Is 4MV going to be able to cover up and acquire themselves a bigger lead because they were sitting the last map out? However, NB Esports did not really change the leaderboard much.
We'll have to see. I mean, we'll just have to just jump into the game to figure that thing out. So overall, it'll be an interesting game to look forward to. This map of
Yes.
Miramar. Drop locations again will be heavily dependent on the plane path that comes in. Will be heavily dependent on how players want to drop it. Because I've seen even cities outside of your reach, like 2,500 meters away, 3,000 meters away, being glided upon. There is a tech, but it takes
True.
a lot of time to reach there. So it's basically you're taking a gamble that if the zone goes in our favor, yeah, well and good, we will have some good loot. But if it does not, then that's a big problem.
Absolutely, you do have to be very careful about where the zone is and when you where you are trying to
Hmm.
navigate yourself to, because again, being on the wrong side of the zone is very harmful. We've seen
Hmm.
quite a lot of teams lose their life to that. And Fritz, I personally feel like if you do not make sure that you're going into the circle soon enough, then you're going to be gate kept, then you're going to be having a lot of teams on the way that can result into a rotation clash, and you're not even going to be able to pick the spot that you wanted. You'll have to
Hmm.
sacrifice, like compromise and settle down for the spot that is available to go into.
That's true. And some teams will even be sitting out. But then heavy hitting giants such as I'd say 4MV will be back into contention. So basically, how do you contest them? How do you drop around them? That's the biggest question over here. But yeah, let's have a look at what other maps are left overall. I think both of them are Miramar. Yeah, that's it. Both Miramar games, and that would be about the day after day number 3. So let's see this Miramar map. How does it pan out? How do these teams want to play it out? Group B will be sitting this particular game out, so the Group B will have an extra chance of maybe to see how the other teams are playing on this map. Because then again, on the final map, Group B will be playing, and Group A will overall sit this one out. So yes, this map of Miramar, important map for all these teams of ACDE.
Absolutely, and it's going to be very important for teams to actually read how the drop locations are working, because
Mhm.
going into the next one, Group B, the ones that are sitting out, will be able to find out exactly which locations were acquired by teams that are in Group A
Mhm.
and maybe prioritize them because they are still going to be prime locations. But the
Yes.
teams that actually acquire them won't be playing further. So for Group A, this is the last chance of redemption for today, and they will have to make sure that they're doing good enough because it's halfway through the week, and every single week, at the end of the week, the standings that you have on the overall leaderboard are going to be contributing towards your bonus points that will get added as your initials. So it's almost halfway done. It's gonna be essential for every single team to go ahead and acquire themselves the best positions.
Hmm. All right. Enough of theory casting, Ara. Let's just jump right into action. Let's just see how does this particular game go. But talking about the play-in path, I do see Campo Militar already on the cards. So that's a tier one city, I'd say. Now that's a place where you'd love to go if you're any other team. But no one does. Come on, guys. Campo Militar, tier one loot, level three helmet backpack. Everything is what you get there. But nobody, I think, wants to drop over there. It's another plain path, so the southern cities will not get that much love. Los Leones, Chuma, maybe you can drop out of Chumacera, but definitely not Los Leones.
Absolutely. However, Los Leones does prove to be one of the cities that has way too much area under it, way too much loot that can be there. I mean, I would say at least three teams can survive in Los Leones. They can cohabit and have a good enough time in there. That's
Hmm.
what the city is like. It's huge, but well, we'll find out what the situation for the southern cities is going to be like once we see the circle coming in, because if the circle favors the southern side, then we'll see the teams eventually rotate towards Los Leones and Impala and Puerto Paracio and places like that. But well, in the meanwhile, for now, teams are going to be focused heavily towards the northern area, which is going to be slightly disappointing if it happens to be a southern circle. Mabetex Esports, however, Wally is going to go exactly where you told him to.
Oh, okay. Camp for one single guy. Let me tell you, he'll come out with level
Yes.
3 helmet, level 3 backpack, level 3 vest, 10 to 20 nades, 50 to 60 smokes, and everything that you possibly could imagine for good loot. So that's that's something I love to see from the side of Team Aptex. They've gone for a very big split because I do see two players to Tierra Bronca, one player going towards Cruz del Val. And that's a very very big split. You four of guys just try to loot three different cities. It's good as well because you've read the map. You know how all these teams like to drop around, how these teams like to play around, and you've just dropped according to it. And the zone is also for some reason favoring you. So everything going in the favor of map decks right now.
That is true, but is Mabetex going to go in their own favor is going to be one big question, because they haven't been able to execute the way we expect them to for a really long time. Like since the day one, I was wanting to see this team come up on top, but they did not for once, and I am losing hope one after the other. But well, in the meanwhile, bad intentions, great shack that they're going to be able to acquire some loot from. Position is nice because it's a really high position, but then again, who do you spot from here? It's mostly just the hill area. There's not much, travel route nearby. And the one that is there has already been navigated by DE Venom, and they're not coming back.
Hmm. Uh, the players of Team DRS CMF though, very early rotation for some reason on top of a hill. They should be right now prioritizing their loot, which seems not to be the case because I think they spotted someone down. Dante and Knight together, they are just spraying the hell out of that player. They just want to get that frag as soon as possible, but I don't think so. They're able to get it out right now.
Well, finally, Bad Intentions finds out where DE Venom is, tries to move out of here, and make sure not to invest in any fights just yet. I am not liking the passive nature of Bad Intentions as much, but then I guess it is what it is. when you see a team trying to, hold back with all of their claws ripping into the leaderboard. We'll see how far they climb up.
Mhm.
But as of now, T2K in very close proximity with. I think there was already information onto Rig, knowing where demo might be, and that's the reason the support is about to arrive and probably even about to create a sandwich situation in which the vehicle will be coming in from behind, making sure that they're able to pick IHC down by one member.
Yeah, T2K rig though. If you look at this guy, he sort of has an off angle on one of his opponents. I don't think so. He knows that someone is very close to him, because of which he is so carefree about all the sound that he's making. But as a DBS Iran, so of course, if he gets that close range encounter that he's open for, that be DBS will just go bong bong and get that knock. So wouldn't be a problem. Turula cooking a nade, but on to whom? I think he's just having some fun in the game.
Well, having fun in the game is definitely not something that we restrict at all. But then again, that fun has to be rewarding because in the end, it's all about making it into the grand finals and getting your hands on that big, big prize pool that we already discussed. But well,
Mhm.
as of now, IHC still in close proximity with T2K, and these four players in a split from the side of T2K are acquiring a lot of real estate, and with that, they are making it very hard for IHC to actually move around and breathe. But Turula will get truly hurt.
Yeah, well, random sprays, demo. See the player, tags him down. Not enough to just get that knock anyhow. So IHC will still survive, probably rotate away, which is a good decision considering you are the team that sort of invaded the place that your opponent had, and you exactly do not know where the players of Team T2K are positioned. So all these things will help the players of I'd say T2K a little bit, forcing ISC to move away. Yeah, that's about it. T2K will be able to push them back. Zeol is the only one sticking out right now, sticking around right now. But Demo from some other part of the map has been able to get a knock. And now Alex is making an angle on Turulov. Now this will punish Turulov because even Alex, even Joel has that angle. Beautiful execution that has been thrown in by the players of Team IHC and T2K. No answer to it.
Well, IHC as of now losing players, Zeol has been taken down. But is that gonna be a good enough situation? Because both these teams only one frag point each and both have lost a player. T2K also has one player knocked already. It's gonna be Rig and the teammate that are gonna be able to fight off against IHC. However, IHC has retracted from this fight and just want to go back into individual gameplay after all.
T2K, for Hill, probably his vehicle got busted down. He jumps down and somehow still survives and wants to get that revival maybe onto XMPL. Although I don't think so that's going to be possible because XMPL is just bleeding very very fast. And even though well, I think T2K, he is attempting the revival. Will he get to XMPL in time? Does he have any opportunity to do so?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough because these opportunities are gonna be something that really need your eyes to be peeled out for. But yes, again, there's way a lot of voting coming in for the side of DRS, but they're not able to make it just yet. Let's see
Hmm.
if this is gonna be one of those maps where they change the history, where they change uh, the whole course in which the game has been set in motion. T2K again getting spotted, but no connection from Alex. What was that?
Just an attempt, I'd say, from Alex to get that frag. And even though Rig now has no ammo in his AKM, so basically he is just a guy who can fight close range battle with that DPS. He's also obsolete in mid range battles. So that's something T2K need to worry about. They should just maybe fall back and focus on their loot rather than now holding their ground against the players of Team IHC. Because IHC did what they came for. They got one frag. They are happy with the 1 point that they have. And it has been a very long time since IHC, were able to win a battle. So I think IHC, they were forcing the issue so that they are able to get that 4v4 team fight and hopefully eliminate the players of Team T2K to get their confidence back up. But now realizing that even T2K has fallen back, IHC go for the same thing.
IHC trying to replicate but still not acquiring just yet enough answers. In the meanwhile, there's literally 6 teams struggling to find a spot into the play zone. 4MV being one of them. DE, Venom, Seal, King of Spades, alongside Bad Intentions. These teams need to rush their way into the circle because right now this is not one damage that you want to deal yourself. There is a lot of emotional damage that's already onto quite a lot of these teams because they're not even on a good position in the overall leaderboard. But yeah, 4MB being one that is trying to enter into Los Leones. Is it not
Hmm.
already looted?
I don't have much idea about that, but right now IHC they will find themselves in another fight. Now it is with the players of team Mabetex, Leo and Volley are the two players that you'll have to deal with. Let's see how does this battle, essentially pan out. We already have the DBS in close range, but it is Godless with the UMP who gets a couple. Both the players down on the ground and out of the picture. Another bad start for Mabetex Esports.
Well, Mabetex Esports has zero consistency when it comes to being on the brighter side of it. But if you talk about just not being able to perform, that they've been doing very consistently. But in the meanwhile, taking a look at the rest of the teams, Mabetex Esports being the one with least number of players alive, one single player. Let's see how far they can actually go ahead and keep themselves afloat. But this time, I'm gonna keep my eyes out for Leo because I'm hoping for this team to actually come back in with a great gameplay. But yeah, in the meanwhile, we are seeing T2K still trying to fight this off with just 3 players on board.
Hmm. Now, if you look at the players of Team T2K Esports, they've lost to Rula, as you said, but they have one frag to their name. Now, that's the bottom line, though. I mean, that was the fight against the players of Team IHC, if I remember properly, and that did not go in their favor. STFL, though, in a battle with HVDC, Senor is coming in to provide some support, or is Senor just signing his death warrant? Because now he will be pushed out by the players of Team HVDC. Sancheer is there to get another frag for himself. Yeah, STFL, they will be at a loss of 2 players if it all goes wrong.
Well, absolutely. Making sure that your numbers do not drop is going to be very, very important. In the meanwhile, though, HVDC trying to acquire numbers one after the other, lose the fight to stronger fake love and putting them on the better side of it all. Right now, HVDC not looking good at all. 2 players down, might not be able to recover.
HVDC is still in that close range battle. Ryuk tosses the nade out, but the push in from Doubtful. Now, this has resulted in him getting 2 frags to his name, 1 frag to his name. At least Rogue is able to come out, but DEADEYES guys with the third party. Now, this will even harm the players of Team HVDC a little bit more. How do HVDC deal with this? That's the biggest question, though. Ryuk gets that revival. Now pushing back into the compound. Ryuk wants to just reset, but there are multiple teams rotating from this angle, rotating outside of this compound, which will give ample amount of time to the players of Team HVDC to deal with Dobu and get that frag. So HVDC will gain control to the compound and eliminate Stronger X Fake Love without any points.
Well, stronger fake love with one single elimination has been sent back to the pavilion, and I think similar fate awaits Mapex Esports as well. Venom D, I'm not expecting great things from them in this particular match. Leo, however, I do expect to see change things around. IHC, maybe. Dead Eyes, guys, not really. So there are quite a few teams that are not giving me enough clear picture to hope on to them. But in the meanwhile, Dead Eyes, guys, still trying to find the right disguise to go into a fight with.
Now HVDC, if you talk about them, they still have this particular compound that they're holding and just want to, just play around it. DEADEYES guys, on the other hand, the team that decided to, sort of third party this ongoing fight, got fourth partied themselves, from some other part of the map. So that hasn't been very good for the players of DEADEYES guys. And if you look at this, only 2 of their players stand, whereas they hoped to push this compound with 4. So HVDC, they will definitely thank their lucky stars for support like this from some other team. But yeah, with 15 teams still remaining and stage 3 already closing, I think we are up for some more fights that will happen all around the map.
Well, the fights will definitely commence soon enough once the horn is played. Once the death toll starts to ring, teams are going to be losing players left and right. But we are still just into stage 3, and teams are still holding back a little. We were seeing a much aggressive Miramar map early on, but soon teams are realizing that they have to stick with their points. The ones that have great enough points for themselves already are trying to make sure that they don't lose the lead. The ones on bottom are trying to close in the gap, and the ones in the middle, they are the ones fighting for real because they want each of the spots so badly.
SKYLIGHTZ on the other hand. Uh, One of the players has been able to take down the player of bad intentions like CMF, jacks down on the ground. Now the revival is imminent. Probably a long range battle, otherwise he would just have been finished off. But SKYLIGHTZ, they just get answered right back. Nima knocked out. Dante and Degree closing in on him, and the frag also gets secured. And SKYLIGHTZ, the earlier decision was to support their teammate, but now it seems like they just want to get inside the play zone for a better safe position.
Well, let's find out if the safety is really gonna be in the favor because for now, Junkyard is already out of the map area, the safe zone, and there's blue zone pushing players from the side of Junkyard, and that's gonna be pretty difficult because SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is gonna be standing right inside, trying to wait off the coming fight. However, numbers are not looking really good, and there is a third party possibility, so they may or may not participate into this fight. But as of now, no fear is looking good enough.
Now look at this. Knight needs to reload. Will be able to do so, but in the meanwhile, the player will just escape. So he also has a buggy that he can use to get inside the zone, and he is not very far away. But finding a dip is definitely going to be a difficult situation, a difficult thing to do right now. Now, Degree tossing a few smokes towards Dante so that the revival could be facilitated over here. But SKYLIGHTZ Gaming from the upper angle, from the upper range, are posing a threat. Although Knight wants to go in all alone for some reason. What? Now, bad intention, I
This
do agree your name is bad intention, but not bad plays, right? You're going all alone without any information and just get your whole team eliminated out of the game.
absolutely on fifth rank, bad intention gets taken down. We were expecting it to be Mabetex Esports, but they still managed to survive quite a little, being that rat works out for now. But in the meanwhile, the junkyard area is being scoped out. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming way too much intel on their hands, and soon enough they will find out the sole survivor from Mabetex Esports. That is going to be quite difficult because fighting off a whole team alone is not something that you get a lot of practice on because it's rare to happen. But well, there's definitely scope.
Scooby, this time around, look at the position he has. Now, HVDC, I'm surprised to see that they're not able to scout that angle out till now. I would have. Just joking. I think there'll be some line of sight blocking, maybe terrain that comes in the way to shoot down Scooby. Otherwise, definitely HVDC would have gotten that frag way back long. But yeah, for now, still just holding that same exact compound, and HVDC look to be in a good spot. Although, if we talk about the zone is also closing in. And hey, it's prediction time. So let's see. According to the minimap positioning, let's just go with Stalwart Esports. I'd say 4 of their players surviving, 2 frags to their name, and almost a pseudo center, not exactly pseudo center, a little bit towards the northern side, but the zone probably will shift in their favor. I'll just go with Stalwart Esports this time around. Ahana, what about
This
you?
time I'm gonna go for T2K. I want to see this team come
Okay,
back up
bold.
on top, and let's see how they turn out to be. They are pretty close to the center and will have great opportunity to move around. And soon enough, there is vacant space that they can acquire for themselves, which might really put them in a upper position. But well, yes, it is slightly bold because there is not 100% confidence into the team just yet. But I am expecting them to show up with better results this time.
Okay, T2K it is. Never mind. If we talk about the circle, though, has gone a little bit towards the southern side. And we still will have all these fights happening. And I think King of Spades will be in a lot of trouble considering Stalwart Esports have a different angle on this battle. 4MV on the other hand, he goes down, seals Kobe, gets that frag, and even confirms it instantly. So yeah, no more 4-man squad for the side of Team 4MV. 4MV though usually play in a very similar way, right? They just don't show themselves for the very first four zones. And even if they do, it's about one or two frags here and there, just collecting third-party kills. And suddenly after that, in the final few zones, they're able to rack up a good number of frags. Just because of good positioning that they're able to gather in terms of after getting intel from the first four zones. So that has been the case, but the previous two times they've been losing players left and right. And that has been a very difficult thing to deal with for the players of Team 4MV. Baron, yes, he comes in with a counter offer to the player of HVDC, and he might be able to get that frag confirmation too. But how do they continue? That's the biggest question.
Absolutely, we did see 4MV not doing very good on the first Miramar that they played ever onto this tournament. But then again, they were one of the teams that quickly adjusted and on
Kobe.
the second Miramar itself, acquired themselves a great victory. And yes, Kobe it was, but the second time did not work around. It was a very overcooked grenade. Another one coming in though, and
Not
being
inside.
outside, it did not do as much damage.
Haha, the
Finally, a
molly went.
molly that will do the job.
It's I mean, what a usage of utility from
It was
Stalwart. Three nades
holy.
outside, one molly inside, and then you exactly just force out the player out in the open. You exactly know where he is going to be. So that's good frags to find. And even in the meanwhile, one of the players of Stalwart Esports was able to get that frag with a nade onto SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. So all these things is going in the way of Stalwart Esports. Apex, on the other hand, falls to Scooby's nade, and he will be completely taken down because I do not see any sort of a backup for the players of Team 4MB. And yeah, CL Esports in a little bit of a troublesome situation because they themselves are cornered into one particular area. But yeah, for now, 4MV they seem to be in a little bit of a trouble because they've lost two players, and only Bear and Doc can fight here.
That's true, and for two players to be able to take care of two teams is going to be slightly difficult because there's great pressure coming in from both sides. However, in the meanwhile, before 4MV, there is going to be another team that gets taken out, and that is going to be SKYLIGHTZ Gaming with only 4 frags to the name. But yes, your choice, Stalwart Esports, with 7 frags on the name and only one player lost. Doing
Uh,
great.
no, I don't think so because the last time I saw they had all four, and that's the only problem that I think Stalwart have been having recently. Again, look at this. In the kill feed, they're just shining on top. They are getting frags left and right, but losing players is something you need to control very quickly. Chari gets in a counter knock. Kirito gets in a counter knock onto the player of Team 4MV. And Beren, he is the only surviving player, but he will be able to get the revival and probably rotate inside the next zone as it is a little bit too far away. 120 meters inside stage number 6. That will be difficult to deal with.
There's a lot that is difficult as of now, but yes, Mabetex Esports has been able to secure themselves for quite a while. Venom D also trying to crawl back up slowly and steadily, but in the meanwhile, we have lost 4 teams and 4 more to go. 4 more teams that get taken out right now are gonna be ones that do not acquire any position points for themselves, and that news is gonna be the worst for players from Leo, DRS, and Venom DE because these teams do not even have frag points to depend on as of now. And with that, we are seeing another frag coming on to 4MB. This is not looking good. 4MB not the best run today, and specifically considering they only have 2 frags this time and not going to get much position points. NBeSports might have the chance to cover back up.
They should. I mean, the way that NB Esports has been playing, that's not NB Esports. Wait, the players of Team Stalwart Esports are playing, I'd say. That has been a good game for them. Now, Deadeye's guys, they are inside the zone. That's one thing that they have in their favor. Slayer, sir, the only concern is that if he is able to survive till the very last stages, will he have enough ammo? That's the only concern that I have for this guy. But there's another concern that I see in the overall lobby. Maximum of these teams just have 3 players standing. It's only sealed with all 4.
Absolutely. All the way from DRS and up, we are seeing teams surviving with only 3 players and make it 2 for DRS itself. There are very few teams that have the advantage in numbers because 5 of the teams are running very low with 1 and 2 players each. But yes, right now, Deadeye's guys trying to go ahead and aggressively take Stalwart Esports down using utility and making sure that they do not have enough room to come back from. One player is completely taken out, and now Stalwart Esports on one healthy and one unhealthy player surviving on the game.
Look at this. Stalwart Esports confined to a container, I'd say. And they have to evacuate this spot. Otherwise, they'll just be taken down. Remaining with just two players, two different teams on either sides, and one good nade is what it took for the elimination of Team Stalwart Esports. 10 eliminations, but they get eliminated on the 11th spot. That means no position points, I think. It's only 10 points overall for this team.
Absolutely, you have to be in top 8 to acquire any points at all. And in the meanwhile, Mabetex Esports acquires themselves the 9th position. Did survive quite a while, but still could not acquire the position points that they were waiting for. However, Venom, DE, and ASL can have a breather now because they will be having at least one extra point to their boards, if nothing else. But yes, these teams currently are getting a lot of attention on themselves, and in the meanwhile, throwables being used from the side of T2K will give them enough time to go ahead and heal and reset themselves to walk back into the fight. In the meanwhile, Rig taking care of the players, managing to show up with some cover fire just to make sure that players of T2K are able to reset without much to worry about.
T2K though, look at this. Rig spotted down, but has been able to get one knock. Although Alex's nade will make sure that the trade always happens. But yes, T2K, I don't think so. They have a very comfortable spot. One of their players down on the ground. Someone has to get that revival. In the meanwhile, Leo Esports being pushed upon. And they also get those flags for themselves. So one by one, even Leo Esports falling down. Now HVDC, I do see Aero tapping out Rig. He's also down. He's also out of the game. 7 teams. And still, I see 13, 14 players surviving. What is happening right now, Ahana? Two teams with 3 players. The rest of them with just 2. And ASL only has 1 representative surviving.
Exactly, and that's not looking good. That's not a good color because we generally know that it's a bigger number of surviving players that puts you on the winning side of it, and this is not looking good for most teams. However, Seal does have a great opportunity on their hands. They have 11 points in frags itself, and they are going to be getting position points as well going forward from here. So let's see what Seal brings out from their stock. And the moment I say it, the Jinx is alive, and with that, they're alive players go down to just 2 with 1 still on the ground knocked.
Ooh, Soul is down on the ground. I mean, Seal. This Jinx exactly as you said. Now, Fearless is trying to get that revival, but I think Alex will try to be the bone in the meat over here. Just hoping to get that frag altogether, I think, with the spam. He just might be able to get that second knock, only if that ridge was not there. But yeah, 22 seconds on the clock. The revival has to be made very, very quick, and then they also have to move inside the zone. Plus, IHC, they have to deal with the players of T2K. XMPL somehow has been brought back up, and now T2K with 2 players standing, a 2v2. IHC cannot take it casually.
Absolutely, being a team that goes beyond confidence is gonna be a prize that IHC pays, and yes, the third party is also gonna be requiring some fruits, acquiring some taste of victory. Last 4 teams remaining on board. ASL does not seem to have any chance at all. DE Venom, DEADEYES guys might be able to equalize the numbers at least, but it still looks like a Seal game. Seal might just be able to steal another victory for them.
HVDC though will be a strong contender in this, because look at this, they are just making sure that all these third party elements, all these teams which are capable of a third party are being taken care of, and it is only Chari left to deal with. And high voltage DC will make sure Chari gets nothing at all, so Seal won't be able to push in right now. But HVDC, there's an open ground in front of them. Where do they take cover from? If Rogue is able to get this knock, it could entirely change the game. Good cover from Fearless, but he has also been tagged out and goes down. Now that's a big opportunity for the players of HVDC. Kirito gets taken care of. Only 1 player remains. It is going to be Soulless. Steel thought they had this in the bag. Well, guess what? They're entirely wrong, as it all falls on to Soulless to pull off a 1v3 now.
Oh, this is gonna be really hard for Soulless to actually go ahead and do it. He secures 1 more knock, but then gets taken out. And Seal, even after such a huge number on boards, does not acquire the winner chicken dinner title for themselves. That 1v3 just shuts Soulless down to a very difficult position. But the team that will take this mean for themselves served right into their attacking fans with all the spices that they did is gonna be HVDC. Putting our bets on them for a really long time, but finally they show up to the occasion with 25 total points.
Make it clap.
A new 1.6 by 1.6 kilometer map is coming to PUBG Mobile version 2.7. In this map, there are several energy zones where you can receive random attribute boosts, such as increased speed and health recovery. At the same time, lots of supplies spawn in the area. Be sure to grab them while you can. After finding all the supplies in an area, you should keep moving to find more supplies. The fastest way to move about is through portals. Go through one to teleport to the other side somewhere else on the map. After exploring an area, it's best to teleport somewhere far. However, it's important to note that there's a cooldown after use, so it can't be used too frequently. If you want to travel across mid-distances, be sure to take note of the updrafts on the map. Get close to an updraft to get lifted into the air. After reaching a certain height, you'll descend back to the ground. During your descent, you can freely adjust your direction to head to your destination. This transportation method is very handy for escaping dangerous situations. Another thing you have to watch out for are the volcanoes on the map. The lava erupting from these volcanoes can cause damage within a certain range. Be sure not to step on the lava, otherwise you'll keep taking damage and lose health. After arriving at a new area, be sure to search for exclusive crates. Approach them to get exclusive themed supplies. Apart from exclusive crates, timed airdrops are also a great way to get supplies, so make sure to keep an eye out for the countdown timer on the minimap. It indicates when an airdrop is about to appear. After the countdown ends, a crate with amazing supplies will rise from the ground. When this happens, there will surely be many enemies vying for the crate, so make sure to lie in wait beforehand and evacuate quickly after grabbing the supplies. If you get injured when going for the supplies, go to the recovery point indicated on the map. You'll be able to heal there. Just run into it to fully restore your health and armor in an instant, just like with teleporting. The recovery point has a cooldown after using it. It can't be used again until the cooldown ends. If the battle gets too intense and you find your teammates eliminated, you can bring them back within a limited time at the towers located on the map. The towers also have cooldown after being used. Each player can only be brought back by a teammate once. Players that have been brought back will directly respawn near the tower that was used without having to jump back to the battleground. Hurry and join your friends in the fight for victory.
Alright guys, welcome back to the stream. We are back with final game of the day. Now this is going to be an important one, and all the previous fights that we just saw will be repeated again because the map is going to be the same, the map of Miramar. So I'm really excited to see how that particular map goes. And hey, guess what? Hana just joined us back. So Hana, welcome back to the desk.
Thank you so much, Fritz. I really wanted to see you bringing everyone back and doing the welcoming part this time. So I was like, let me just take a pop out for this one. But yes, I mean, I'm very happy to be here, and that's pretty much evident from the fact that I just showed up the moment I was not here again. But yeah, this is the last match of the day.
Yes.
But let's reflect on what...
Yeah, the statistics are going to be very important. We'll start off again with the
true.
MVP. We'll go on with the old flow. But this map was going Seal's way for a second.
Yep.
I thought that HVDC would have a difficult time getting inside the zone, but it seemed like Seal did not have an idea on how to play the open zone. They had the zone first. They had 3 different angles to shoot from. And I saw HVDC completely out in the open. But somehow, one of their players is able to get a long range knock, first of all. Second one to follow up, and suddenly I think the last remaining player was Kirito from Seal, who was put in a 1v3, which again is not a very good place to be in. So it was unfortunate for the players of Team Seal, but a great job done by the players of Team High Voltage DC. Aero getting that MVP, and look at this guy. All alone he got 10 eliminations.
Exactly, 10 eliminations from one single guy. This is the number of eliminations that Stalwart Esports has accumulatively by the whole team. I mean, this is huge. Double-digit eliminations by one single guy. This guy has carried quite some weight for the team. And look at that, Rogue with 3 as well. That means we have more than 13 frags at least. And Tops. He keeps showing up on the top players list every single time for some reason.
Yeah, well, Stalwart Esports, they did have a good game too. I mean, probably they will end up with 0 position points, but the 10 elimination points will definitely take them up the leaderboard. Now, if we talk about the overall match history, Aero for sure on top in terms of damage and in terms of elimination, but Ryuk got the highest number of assists. So without Ryuk, Aero wouldn't have been as effective as possible, I think.
Absolutely. Ryuk has definitely been one very essential player for the side of HVDC and has
Hmm.
been one of the key factors because of which the victory has been acquired with 15 eliminations and a 25
Wow.
total. HVDC is going to be securing themselves quite a leap in here. But yes, Seal also with 11 eliminations on the second position, not only
Stalwart.
with exactly not only with eliminations but also with placement, and then Stalwart on the third. Great game from these three teams, but then the way they played, obviously you do not expect the rest of the teams to have enough points
Hmm.
in total because they already stole all the eliminations up there, like more than 30 with these three teams. Actually
Well, that's
36.
where
Yeah.
that's where we see the other teams like 4MV with 2, Leo with just 2 points to their name, and 4MV not being able to go through a good game over here. That means that the distance between the second team and the third team will be closed down a little bit. I think SKYLIGHTZ, we did not see them, or maybe they were in top 10. I think that's why we did not see them in the second chart. But a good game for them, so that's for sure. That will be an important thing to see. But HVDC, man, this team has been showing one hell of a comeback. Chicken in Erangel, chicken in Miramar, 2 back-to-back chicken dinners. Let's see first of all if they play in the final map of Miramar, and if they do, are they able to topple the tables back once again?
Absolutely, there's going to be one big question, and we are going to be finding out the answer to that soon enough.
Mhm.
But yes, I am pretty impressed by HVDC the way they have performed, and slightly disappointed because I was calling out their name as my prediction quite sometimes, and those times they did not feel like winning. Other times they're like, yeah, this one you did not call our name,
Uh-huh.
right? So this time let us. I mean, I think Fritz, we have a very consistent, performance from our side as well. No
Mhm.
right predictions at all
Okay.
whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a job, right? I mean, if we predict the correct team, what will the audience watch for the game? If
Exactly.
every time it's me or you getting the correct prediction, they'll be like, yeah, just close, let's close the stream, let's not watch it. We know that these two teams, either of these two teams is winning. So we have to make bad, and at least that's the reason for me making bad predictions. I already know which
Mm-hmm.
team is going to win, but
Acha.
just for making sure that the audience is hooked, that's why I make wrong prediction. That's my excuse for not giving any right predictions till now. But yes, the game has
Right.
been fun. The games have been interesting, and now the final map of Miramar for the day.
Absolutely. We are going to be walking into the one last match of the day, and it's going to be exciting because, again, as I said earlier, this is midway for the
Yes.
first week. The day, like, once this day is over, things are going to be very hard to pick back up for the teams that are on the bottom, and they will have to give their all in for the coming 2 days to be able to acquire
Hmm.
themselves any weekly bonus points that they want, because that's again going to be the initial points for the grand finals. You got to make sure you get good enough points in the weekly bonus, and got to make sure that you make it to the finals as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Bonus points. That is something that really has to be in your head for a very long period of time, because that
Yes.
one extra game can really help you over the other teams to, just in the grand finals overall. So that's something you'll have to be very careful about. HVDC is one of those teams which are able to, make their way from the bottom of the chart all the way up to top 10, I think. Probably in the top 10 ranking is where HVDC stand right now with the 2 back-to-back chicken dinner. And if they're able to get one more good game, if they play, that's where I'd say HVDC will have a really good game. But yeah, let's jump into the final game of Miramar, and let's see which team this time round is able to rule this particular map.
Well, this one has quite a few big guns. We are seeing um 4MB, obviously. There is stronger FAKELOVE, there is NBeSports as well. And I am having high hopes this time from Raw officials alongside. King of Spades is also going to be one team to keep the eye out for. But then again, the one we were expecting to see is not going to be playing this one. HVDC is sitting this one out. So all they
Hmm.
have done so far is going to be all that they are going to be able to contribute into the game. But look at the playing path. This time it is weird because people generally do not even go to these regions. I don't see anyone going to Ladrilla, Minas del Valle, Chumasera. These areas are generally empty. But the ones that are almost acquired are so far away from reach, so far away.
Yeah, that's true. These northern cities won't get any love, won't get any players, dropping in. So that'll be a little bit difficult for the teams who usually went to like Campo Militar, Terra Bronchites, say Mabetex or the team previous time, which literally routed three cities with just two players, Torre Armada, Campo Militar, and Tierra Bronca, and also were scattering around Cruz de Val. So basically, a player for every city. Somehow they were allowed to do that. But yeah, this time around, that won't be the case. Los Leones, I think, is the choice of their city. The zone has literally gone opposite of where the plane path was. Now teams like KS, King of Space, they will have to be the ones who have to rotate very early to get inside the zone.
Yup, let's see how this goes forward because this zone is going to be quite hard to reach for the teams that did choose to go to the unexpected positions. 4MV is still looking like they are not going to be that far away, but around them are DE Venom, who are going to have quite a lot of run to go forward with. King of Spades is way too far away, and for them, all the way from Trailer Park, making it into water treatment is going to be pretty difficult. And even going to water treatment is going to be not the best choice because, again, look at the players that are around. These teams are going to be acquiring the edges of the circle, and it's going to be difficult to enter in. However, there's very little part of the circle that is into the water area, and that's not going to be that much of a problem. But then again, the real estate is going to be acquired towards the edges.
Let's see though. I already see teams like T2K and DRS pivoting towards the circle, pivoting towards a different city which was necessarily not covered by the plane path. So they will love to just take that spot. Maptex and Stronger X Fake Love in Los Leones. Even IAWO probably towards that cave area of Los Leones is where they've dropped in. Also might be peppered upon by the player by Scooby, not the players of Steel, but by just Scooby instead. But
Right.
D Venom, they are around Valademar, Chumasera being taken down by 4MB, NBeSports around El Pozo. So all these teams, in the next maybe I'd say 30 seconds is the time I'll give them to loot and then start their rotation towards the play zone.
Absolutely. Being able to make your way back into the play zone is going to be pretty difficult because, again, you need to make sure that your loot is done right on time. La Cabrera region is going to be covered by SKYLIGHTZ Gaming all the way from Torre Amuda. They might be entering towards Cruz del Valle, which is going to be an optimal position because you do not have to worry about any other teams getting in your way. So, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is going to have a comfortable entry into the circle. But as of now, T2K being one of the first few teams to actually enter into the circle, making sure that they have their preferred location for themselves is going to be an optimal situation. But then again, this team has not been showing up since after their one single victory on Sanhok on the first day. So, hoping with fingers crossed that they do show up with something good.
Now, if you talk about the other players, DRS, okay, El Azhar, very quick rotation. We still are on the mini map though, and already the first zone has started to close. And would love to see the POV in the game for all of these teams. Probably because we do not have any sort of drop fights. That's why this is happening, and we will see. We will be jumping right into action as soon any of these teams, just decide to fight against each other. But yeah, the first zone already started to close in. Now let's see how the rotation start because I already see Deathstorm has a vehicle, probably picking up his teammate and will use the Monteño highway all the way towards Hacienda del Petron and then towards maybe Cruz de Val. Whereas the other two players of KS, they are taking the La Cobriara highway. Just maybe will take a right cut after Oasis if that makes sense. There's a small slip road that is leading towards Hacienda del Petron, and that's where the players of Team King of Space might want to meet out. They'll have a lot of trouble in the way though because I do see DEADEYES guys, JMEX, even ISC sharing the same road. NBeSports also would love to take some shots if they do see the vehicle rotating. So all of these things have to be considered. Yeah, man. Let's see what's the decision that will be made by the players of Team King of Spades.
Exactly. For them, the situation really does not look any good. But yeah, they are trying to go from towards El Pozo, towards Trailer Park, and a very large rotation for the side of King of Spades team. If they do decide to go all the way right from the El Pozo area, they will face off NB Esports. Okay, they do not decide to go there. So they are going to be meeting at around La Cobrera with the less left of the teammates. Soon enough, entering towards water treatment, I'm expecting, but let's see, because the way they are moving, they will be having very little time to actually enter into the circle. In the meanwhile, if you talk about Seal, they will be entering towards Impala because going anywhere else is going to be completely impossible. So that's the only position that stays open for them. 4MV being able to actually rotate earlier will be able to acquire probably either Los Leones or somewhere near Picado, making sure that once the move comes in from the side of me Venom, they are able to gatekeep pretty well.
Ooh, now though, if we talk about T2K, I mean, Ray, XMPL, Turu, Love, all these teams, players from T2K, they'll just be around this particular city. Maybe XMPL has a higher angle. He'll try to take some shots, damage a few players around him nearby. But yeah, in the next 1 minute and 50 seconds, we'll get a clearer idea about how all these teams, want to play this game. But hey, we have the overall ranking, live overall ranking over here. Now let's have a look. NBeSports 15 points away. 4MV 110 still sitting out on top, no problem whatsoever. Also have the highest number of frags by the way, 77 overall. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming a little bit far away. King of Spades though, that's the team I was looking for. Now they have 68 points, need a little bit more to just climb up the leaderboard.
Well, let's see. I am hoping for Raw officials also to actually go ahead and perform well, because they are consistent, but they are not able to find themselves the right footing just yet. I'm hoping for them to acquire at least a couple of chickens going forward so that they can find themselves in better positions, because this team is definitely not doing bad, but then again, still not showing up on the best positions just yet. So that's going to be another team that I want to see succeed soon enough. But yeah, in the meanwhile, with okay, we're seeing the points as well right now here for every single team. Alrighty, great,
Hmm.
great
So,
game for MB. Yeah,
I mean, till now, really, no one has got a frag, so that's something I'm concerned about. And now, 4MV know that someone has been on this road previously because they just saw a
true.
vehicle with, first of all, the skin and parked in a very weird way. So they'll have to be careful about their rotation. They have to be careful about the compound that they have, and they've already spotted down the players of Team STRFL. So that's something that they will maybe try to exploit. But yeah, for now, STFL they have a safe compound, and even though if 4MV shoot and get one knock, till the time they reach this particular spot, I think the revival will be facilitated, and now STFL will make sure to not peak that angle again.
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, 4MV currently still busy trying to find themselves the right position for themselves. But then again, on Miramar, I do expect at least someone to be carrying around a sniper and making sure that they, have their sight set on anyone that is visible and just, pick them off. But I'm not seeing the same trouble coming in for the set of 4MV just yet. And with the nitro boosters on and the flap opened up, a huge run coming in for some teams that are still trying to look for the position. But 4MV attackers, you attackers, what are you doing? These bears, they were already on their way somewhere else, just found a couple of players, dropped
Uh,
out. They were like, let's just detour. And what kind of detour is it? The kill spree detour. You're just going on trying to make eliminations, get finish points. All right, guys, all right.
I mean, at the end, it's all well and good for 4MV, right? They just get
True.
one frag for free. They're like, yeah, thank you guys. You're so lovely. And T2K have already lost a player early on. Now, again, if we look at the overall standings, if you can get a look at that, I mean, 4MV have been put in a very no, sorry, T2K have been put in a very difficult spot. Day number one ends, you're on the third position. Day number two ends, you're on the seventh position. Or day number three, do you even fall after that, or do you still are able to maintain at least top five? Is where I want to see T2K. That hasn't been the
I
case
don't
for
think.
now, though.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. I don't think that's exactly what's happening as of now. But yeah, in the meanwhile, 4MV, I mean, people might be thinking we're taking their name way too many times, but then again, they're doing as many miraculous things. I cannot help it. They're just topping the leaderboard, and that is for a reason. They're consistent and they're great at the same time. How do you fight that? Like, okay, yeah, they have a couple of games where they have only 2 points, but then they have games where they have 30 points, and that is also not less. So, cannot really, battle that out. But yet, NB Esports is one team that I really want to watch out in this game. I want to see if they will be able to topple 4MB. because that's one thing I am keeping my eyes out for. 4MV did not have a great game the last time, and neither did NBeSports. The game that was missed by each other's opponents was going bad for themselves as well. So now is the time when they can actually cover up for the distance that has been stagnant for such a long time, and it's not that huge of a distance. I think it's hardly 15 points, if I'm not wrong. Actually, it's 14. Yeah. So 14 points is not going to be that difficult if you win. So I'm wanting to see NB Esports take this one.
No, that's a big if, nah. That's a problem. If you win. Now, winning is something
Yes.
that NB Sports hasn't been doing for a very long period of time. That's something they'll have to calculate, maybe go by. Again, if you talk about the start, 4M, we've already got 1 point. Did you consider that in the calculation, Dana?
I did. That's why
Okay,
I said
so
14 points. Yeah.
yeah, so then now the NB Sports roster, they need to first of all, I'd say, hunt down 4MV.
Yes.
By the
So
looks
that more
of
cannot be
yeah,
acquired.
so
Yes.
by the looks of the, I'd say, the kill feed over here, I do see NB Sports are outside the zone. That's why they're suffering continuous damage, whereas 4MV are dealing real damage to their opponents and getting those frags one by one.
Okay. I'm just. I'm just gonna not say any of my hopes out loud anymore. They all turn into jinxes because 4MV right now has their hands on the raw officials. They've already taken one player down. I see little lower HP on one of their players. So
Mm-hmm.
soon enough, 4MV will be able to, execute this fight through and through, and be able to maybe acquire all four frags. That is not something that we could be saying is impossible, because again, 4MV has been pretty good whenever it comes to gun duels with players. However, the team is pretty separated right now. I'm seeing two players completely towards the side of Impala trying to regroup with each other. That is Doc and Apex. But then the rest two all the way towards Bendita. But then again, only towards the road. So it's about like half a square difference between them. But let's see. They still have quite a lot of teams that are targeting them. Stronger Fake Love and Raw officials both are trying to take a fight with 4MB at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you see the players of NB Esports, they're finally throwing in some shots. Although, on the other end, Mamba has been able to get that knock on to kill a YT. That's a good knock to be found. Mamba, though, will be shot in the back by the players of team Mabetex. Now, this is where I'd like to see some good decision making from the players of team, I'd say, Mabetex Esports. They threw in some shots, they did not connect. Let's just move to the zone. That's the decision making that they should do, and that's something that they've opted for. Smart play by them, and NB Esports, they will be wasting some utility on the back of it just because they're a little bit paranoid. But finally, Mabetex from inside the zone also, they're able to find a area. Now, King of Spades, this last guy, Death Storm over here. Now, he will be in trouble because, yes, he has some support, but not inside the zone. And as soon as you try to get in, Mabetex is there to, first of all, stab you in the front. And if that's not enough, you also have NB Esports following them up.
Absolutely. NB Esports right now trying to struggle with the zone just now. But the moment they enter in, Mabetex might have a better opportunity to result this fight into, because there is vulnerability situation that's already on the face of NB Esports as of now. And King of Spades, Deathstorm, pretty sneaky, buddy. Pretty sneaky, but then still does not take the fight and is gonna be falling back because he's alone as of now. And that's not a fight that will result in the favor, and he understands that. But in the meanwhile, IHC gets taken down completely. Mabetex Esports acquiring some points for themselves in the meanwhile. However, it's still gonna be slightly difficult for any of these teams to make it back in. And as you said, somewhere I start to believe alongside you that 4MV might just change things and like become like ruler or something of this whole thing.
Yeah, but look at this. If you see the mini map, look at their positioning. They have all the southwestern control that they need. They are keeping more than two teams than for now are comfortable. Now, the current fight on our hands between the players of NB Esports and DEADEYES guys, it seems to just be a one-way affair. DEADEYES guys, they are just getting pinned down, they are just getting shot upon, and NB Esports are just happy to accumulate those frags one by one. Well, this one just got stolen from them, but it's
Yeah,
all the part of this particular game, the battle royale, which as much as you might not like it, but you'll have to deal with it.
true that. Now NB Esports on their way towards Deadeye's guys does not realize
What
that
is
I8
this?
is surviving very close by in the proximity.
They just stopped in the middle of nowhere. Now, lucky them that there is no one nearby to punish them for such a bad move. But yeah, I mean, they somehow still are able to maybe see the players of DEADEYES guys and steal that frag. Now, Desert is able to get that knock onto Dead Storm, and Volley just confirms it out. But that's again from Mabetex Esports. JMEX on the other hand, Dobu gets a nade, good nade onto the players, but then gets a counter nade in his face, and JMEX will be able to eliminate the squad of stronger FAKELOVE. On the other side, we have SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, who lost a player, but I think have got one back up in their favor.
Well, let's find out how this goes forward because, yeah, as of now, Venom DE is gonna be in the better position into this fight, and SKYLIGHTZ Gaming losing another player. Venom DE making sure that the height advantage is converted, but then again, height is getting under the control of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming now, and with their name across the skies, they might just be able to win this fight overall. As of numbers, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is trailing far behind compared to Venom DE. But it's still not looking very bad. Oh no, okay, now it's looking very bad.
See, DEADEYES guys, they have Overwatch available. There's a player just with a sniper who's throwing in some shots. And even though SKYLIGHTZ says they're able to take one down, but look at this flank from Krita. Nobody can expect it. Not at all. Because he is a very sneaky guy over here. Desert, on the other hand, has been able to take down one of the players of Team NBeSports. East with a nade onto Snipe. Mondo gets confirmed by Desert. A lot of battles happening all around the map. And for now, we are seeing SKYLIGHTZ Gaming just, I think, being picked apart by the players of Team D Venom one by one.
Absolutely, comes in another Molly, and this is gonna deal slight damage, very slight damage onto Johra, but then he will survive. And now it's hard for D Venom to actually pinpoint the players of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. Johra is about to show himself right out of the smoke, and now Krita should have an idea of where to actually aim. But yes, with these weapons, okay, another nade coming in, a lot of damage this time, but not just yet enough to get the complete elimination. Johra is sandwiched, pinched, and gets taken down. But in the meanwhile, Nima running away because that's the one good thing he can do.
That's exactly the only thing he can do right now. Not much could be done by that guy. Now D Venom, 3 frags to their name. They have to get inside the zone, and Nima still would be in a very difficult spot. Snipe though gets sniped from very long away, and the frag confirmation comes in with a UMP of all weapons. Now Galzin is able to get that trade, but that's all it is, just a trade. I do not see the confirmation, and even though Apex is down on the ground, 4MV still strong with 3.
Absolutely, and I guess there's a quick recovery that's coming in, and Apex will be back on feet again. However, Galzin Dada is trying to run away from this fight as soon as possible, leaving the comrades in the middle of the nowhere situation, actually, to be very honest. But yeah, I guess Frag will not be able to survive this. He will get taken down easily, and JMEX will be left with just one single player surviving, who will have to rat out again. Now, these rats definitely can make or break the game for other teams, but for themselves, I don't think they can do much. Not much that they can provide to themselves.
Frag. Now what does he do? Galzin, I thought just ran away from the spot to maybe get an off angle onto the player of Team 4MB.
Also
But of
got
course
taken
was
down.
not the case, and he just gets taken down too. Mabetex though, in close quarter combat, I think was just able to eliminate a couple of players of Team King of Spades. And it's only one that remains. So good fight for Mabetex to win. Because that will not only give them space, that will also give them the initial points that they needed to step their game up. They haven't been having a good game till now, a good day till now. Now 4MV as well. They just got back one of their players into contention, but one by one, they're also falling. NBeSports on the other hand, they also lose a player. So these things are not going in their favor right now for 4MV.
Absolutely. However, 4MV, even with 5 points, shouldn't be disappointed just yet because they are on a great position, to be very honest. But yeah, they do got to make sure that they keep increasing the lead more and more so that bad days do not get in their way, because it's a long tournament, it's a long format, and they got to survive the whole thing. Because even after such a strong start, if you do not end up being on top, it's sad. It's just disheartening and disappointing. But well, in the meanwhile, a fight initiates one more time for the side of DE Venom, and they are able to capitalize again because Seal players are on very low HP, but they're still able to acquire knocks. What's happening?
Back and forth. Now, Krita does not have a very good chunk of HP left. He tries to bait out the player, just maybe throwing him off by popping that first aid. But yeah, Kirito comes in with a pre-fire. He just takes the player down, and that's the elimination for Venom DE. He thought that this could be another one of those games where Venom DE could perform a little bit better. Well, that's not the
Yup.
case. DRS, though, all 4 players surviving. They are pushing onto the players of Team T2K, where one of the guy is already down and Turulov needs to reset. It's only XMPL who's in a fighting spot. And I think he just might get overrun by the players of DRS. One by one they push, one by one they come, and let's see how do Team T2K deal with all the pressure that DRS is creating right now. An off angle for XMPL to start with. Has the UMP in hand, so the close quarter battle this should be in his favor. But let's see, the Molly does not land where it needs to. XMPL still with that off angle. Let's see how much damage can he deal.
Well, we'll find out soon enough because as of now, it seems like DRS is on a stalemate situation. They do not really know where T2K XMPL is, and they're trying to figure that out with constant utility usage. Even though they might win the fight, they might lose so much utility that it wouldn't be a rewarding one to acquire after all. Another nade coming in from the side of
that's a
T2K.
big nade.
If he lands it right, it might be a great opportunity. Oh no,
Bounce
that
it,
does not
bounce it.
happen.
Bounce it. Although, look at this, the revived player is creating an off angle now. And DRS will be in a troublesome situation because Delta again falls to XMPL's nade. Now, Killer is trying to hold that angle and has been able to get one down. But DRS as well lose a player. So, T2K, I'd say this compound hold is a very good hold till now because you've been able to take down one player. Yes, one of your players is still knocked out, but the support is still there. Dog on the other hand falls down. Rules gets that confirmation onto the T2K player. And now DRS left with just 3.
Oh, DRS. This is going to be a hard fight because DRS is fighting off against 2 players and T2K is not going to be able to move out of here. DRS again getting one after the other on a better situation onto the footing, and with that trying to walk in with all their utility packed up and ready to blow. But yes, it is gonna be hard to walk back into the compound because the compound is completely fortified by T2K players, and it's gonna be hard to find out where they exactly are. Without intel, entering is gonna be calling your own death upon yourself. So I guess this demise is gonna be avoided by staying outside the compound and waiting for the circle to push the T2K players out.
Well, once again, it's a hard stop for some reason. I really do not understand why these teams, after having such a good advantage, decide to stop. What's the harm in trading in a 4v3 battle? I mean, only if you pushed in on T2K on time DRS, you could have all your 4 players standing. Not making this decision has definitely punched him back in the face. Now, Mabetex, if we talk about them, all 4 guys still standing. They have sort of an angle onto 2 of their opponents, I'd say. And they are taking some shots. Although, when I look at the feed right now, I see 4MB with just 1. Just 2 minutes ago, they had all 4 players standing and they were firing on all cylinders. They were getting those frags. But suddenly, after the zone shift, they were not able to recuperate and are just left with just 1 player. This could be an opening for... I thought NBeSports, but they're already eliminated. So yeah, well... 4MB will still retain their top spot.
Well, we'll definitely see that happen. But yeah, in the meanwhile, with those 6 points and placement points as well coming in now for 4MB, it's going to be a great start for them. In the first week, I'm pretty sure this team is going to have great numbers for themselves and a huge lead. But well, in the meanwhile, I8. This team has been struggling for a really long time, but this one seems a fight that they can win. So ASL might just be taken down completely, and with those knocks coming in, we can see I8 finally acquire themselves something, and that something right now is going to be 8 frag points. Not bad at all.
I8WO for a team who's on the bottom of the leaderboard, that's a good game. Now meanwhile 4MV, the last remaining representative, also falls, and with that 4MV will be eliminated. King of Spades also has Mamba surviving. He's the only guy who can get some position points from here on. Leo has that M4, wants to take some shots, has a very cheeky angle too. I mean, as soon as he pros down, literally nobody can shoot him down from somewhere below. DRS Gyante on the other hand falls, and Mabetex Desert will be able to secure that frag. Mabetex Esports just abusing the good position that they have over here, Hana.
Yup, and right now it seems like Mabetex Esports might just be able to put themselves in a one good game after 3 bad days, let's say. But yeah, DRS, the moment they get out of here, will be in the process of Mabetex, and that is something that will be abused by Desert. And he is able to deal a lot of damage, but not convert it into a frag just yet. And there will be support coming in to help that out. Now, with this frag already on hand, whenever the revival comes in for the DRS player from the side of rules, that will be another conversion. But in meanwhile, look at King of Spades Mamba. Beautiful.
He is just
Abusing the
holding.
position he has.
Yeah, he's just
Yep.
holding his angle and just gathering anything that he can. He just does not want to go empty-handed from this game. Now maybe Jiro just closes in the distance and gets all the frags he needs and eliminates Mamba from this particular position. But this hill, he is beautifully playing around it. Some nades as well to follow up. Leo though gets a knockout to the player of I8WO. Ufis is down on the ground. He just might get taken down completely because Leo is not leaving him alone. Now Desert probably falls back and Mabetex do not disturb Mamba in this position. And considering the position Mamba has, he really does not need to move away from this location until and unless an 8 comes his way.
Yup, it's gonna be
Oh,
really
never mind.
sad, and there it is. The sad demise. Mabetex Esports is just looking like they are a completely different team today. They're a completely different team. But well, right now it is DRS, Seal, IAW, and Mabetex. These four teams, none of them have a very great position or a great start. Seal and DRS don't even seem like they are going to be winning one. So we are going to be seeing a completely new team on the boards today. It's either going to be IAW or Mabetex. I'm hoping
Well,
for it to be Mabetex
we
though,
were talking
because
about the
extra
teams
points.
on the
Yeah.
bottom of the leaderboard or the middle
Yep.
to step up, and that's what has happened exactly today. That has been the storyline. Now Mabetex and a I8 fight that we hope for. Leo gets one, and the good thing is he falls back. Domain completely picked off. Octopus, one of his hands, or I'd say one of his tentacles, has been taken care of by Leo in this position, and it all falls down to Viper and Woofiz. Now these two players cannot do much about the position that they are in because Mabetex just have the better area, just have better map control. The only thing they can make sure is to get at least a top 2 finish instead of being eliminated on the 4th spot.
Exactly, but right now Woofus is also taken down, and now it's Viper alone. Will he be wiped clean from this map? Is gonna be the question, because right now it seems like Leo already knows where exactly Viper is, and he might just be marching in. But wait a second, Mapex falls back.
Yeah, that's a good
Why?
decision because they do not know the remaining player's location. And if they
Oh
push
yeah,
in,
the rest
the right
teams,
hand side
yes.
is completely empty. So if Steel just pops in, gets one knock, I get one knock, and suddenly it's a 2v2. It's a good decision from the players of Team Mabetex. I don't know why Desert is still trying to go in. I think probably he needs the loot reset because for a very long period of time, Desert was just praying and hoping to get some frags. But there we go. I8, as soon as the regens, as soon as they try to get inside the zone, they have been taken care of. And now it's all down to DRS's rules, OG, and Leo and Seal Esports. Maybe somehow get this game back from the hands of Team Mabetex. Now Leo is all out in the open. That's a good enough to fight, and the confirmation will be secured as well. And Rules has been able to find a good spot around this particular compound, which will lend him 10 more seconds to play around. Now Wally, if he's able to cut this angle off from Rules, it could be a good game, but yeah, that won't happen because Soulless from the other hand will third party, and a nade from Mabetex will connect on to Kirito. So it's all down to Soulless in a 1v3. The push comes in, the nades are landing, possession known, but still Soulless is able to get that one knock onto Wally. Confirms the frag to get some more points, but he is still not very far away from a chicken. A raid being cooked. Desert, if he just lands it perfectly, it could be the end of the game. Push comes in, a 1v2, Soulless, a good nade, but will it blast in time? It just does not. Desert with the trade, Mabetex with the chicken.
Beautifully done by Mabetex Esports, and finally a team that we've been waiting for a really long time to actually secure themselves a meal on their pants is in the leaders. They have finally secured the chicken dinners that they've been waiting for since day one, right on to the third day, and I'm hoping to see this team continue with the momentum that they've built right now. Beautifully done, beautifully played. However, nothing taken away from Soulless. He tried really hard, but then again, Mabetex was just on the better spot since the beginning and has carried it forward. after so much conversation on the team, finally we see them on the winner's screen with 3,379 total damage, 14 eliminations, and 24 total points. However, still unable to walk onto the first stage.
Now, if you talk about Mabetex Esports, this was a team on what, 17th rank? Probably 16th or 15th, not 17th, 16th or 15th rank is what I remember the last game. And now one game has pushed them all the way up to top 12. I mean, if this game were to end over here, they could have qualified for the bonus game. Just by getting one chicken. And we all know Mabetex Esports is a team which has been a very consistent one throughout all the different tournaments that they've played through. So this sort of a comeback was kind of expected from the players of Team Mabetex Esports. But the good thing is, it just took day number 3. I mean, on day number 3, they're able to get one chicken. They are able to bounce back into action before it's too late. They have one more day to get more points on the board to get a better position in the overall leaderboard so that they get even extra bonus points before jumping into that bonus game. That will help them in their grand final run, of course. But yeah, a good game for Mabetex Esports. I'd say IAW also performed a little bit better than what I had personally expected from them. So we'll have to see where does that put them on the overall leaderboard.
Absolutely, that's definitely going to be something to take a look at. But before that, let's find out who's going to be the MVP of the day. It is going to be Desert with 8 eliminations. Still not going to beat the 10 eliminations that we saw the last game, but close enough. Close enough.
That was the maximum. That was the maximum that we saw. And it's all good for Desert too. I mean, getting 8 eliminations is just one game. It's a good number to achieve, I'd say. Plus, he even got 6 more knocks. So, well, that is something we just add in his tally. Overall, a good game. 28 minutes 34 seconds is what he survived and was able to get his team the chicken. I think he was the one who got the final trade too. So probably the master finisher too for Mabetex Esports. But yeah, a great game for the side of Team Mabetex. Would love to see how do they continue overall in the upcoming games.
Absolutely. Like, out of all the new names that we saw today on boards, this is one that I'm expecting to see consistency from, because the rest of them haven't shown that kind of performance overall. But yeah, today has been a great day for a lot of new teams. But then again, for Miracle Vibes, they do not leave any opportunity of claiming a top player. Every single game, someone or the other shows up. And this time it's going to be East.
Yeah, 4MB as a team. That's why they're on the top, right? We do not see them anywhere near the top 3, top 4 positions in the past 3-4 games. But they're always there because they get what, 8-10 points every game. It could be in terms of the number of frags that they get. It could be in terms of anything. But yeah, they've been playing very phenomenally, and that's the reason that they're able to get such a good spot, get such good number of points and still be on the top of the leaderboard. So all these things have definitely been in their favor. If you talk about match summary, it seems like it's all Mabetex Esports all around the board, be it frags, be it damage, be it assists, be it healing ton. It's just Mabetex Esports overall.
That's true, but here we are with the match standings. Mabetex Esports on the first position with 14 frags and 10 placement points, total of 24. Behind them is gonna be a close follower, Seal, with 18 points, and then we see Vion Illuminate finally showing up on top with 4 points in placement, 8 in elimination, and 12 total. But for Miracle Vibes, not giving up at all, still on the 4th position. Wow.
Those frags, Ahana, I think is the secret, because we also saw 71 frags overall in the entirety of 10 games. So, but that's basically 7 frag average, and just 3-4.
I think, yeah, in 10 games, yes, in 10 games, 71,
so,
and right now it's gonna be 77 plus 7. That is gonna be 84.
Yeah, basically, frags, 7-8 frags every game is what they're getting on average.
Yep.
So that's something that helps you really to be on top. And 4MV, they've been performing consistently. Chicken is again yet awaited, because I think they got both these chickens on the first day. After that, it has been just the elimination that they've been able to get. 118 overall points. NBeSports still within touching distance, so that's one good thing. But yeah, that number is slowly and steadily increasing. Earlier it was 18, now I think it's 22.
Yes, it is 22, and that's a huge number, to be very honest, because again, here's the thing. Placement points, NBeSports is having a better number, which is good. But then again, that shows the consistency. You have better placement points even though the other team has more chickens. That's great. But then look at the eliminations. Even when they do not get placement, Formerical Vibes is constantly getting eliminations, and that number is getting more and more, exaggerated with every single game. However, Raw Esports finally in a better position. Mabetex Esports in a good position. But T2K dropped all the way to 13th.
They sort of are following that average. That first day they're 3, then 4, then now 13. A very big drop, to be honest. Did not expect that from the players of Team T2K, but yeah, they'll have to cover up in the upcoming games. The teams who are, I'd say, in a little bit of a trouble, Venom, DE, and Illuminate, these teams will have to be very careful, and teams below them too. But yes, now that race for MVP is still going on, but I'm not surprised to see the players of 4MV just signing. It's just like all the players of 4MV except for one. I just don't see Baron in the list, but it's similar to what I saw in the previous season. I mean, it was Stalwart Esports, the other 2 players are from Stalwart Esports, and we always had 3 players from 4MV. This time around, it's Zero from HBDC and No Fear from SKYLIGHTZ Gaming.
Exactly, and they both have acquired great frags today itself. Like No Fear had about 8 or 10 today, and Aero had the same number, like 10 today. So that's a lot of contribution that has come from this particular day itself. But then other than that, for Miracle Vibes, every single player has been showing up every single day, and that's huge going forward, because the more numbers you have in consistency, it's not only going to give you more points for your own MVP position, but also for your team altogether. And I think that's one thing that's going on in 4MV. These players are competing against each other for the MVP situation, and that's putting big numbers on their board every single time, even if they don't have a good position.
So they're basically like, bro, I know our team will win the overall season. We will get $9,500 for ourselves, but that $1,000 is mine. That Doc says no, it's mine. So he says no, it's mine. So basically, they're just competing between. And Baron is like, guys, I'm also there. I'm also very close to you guys, because we have 84 frags, and between you have 65, 67 frags. I'm also there on the list, a little bit far. Just a little bit far away. Give me one good game, I'll also be there on top. That's what 4MV is, just fighting amongst each other. But yeah, this has been the storyline. Not for just this season, not for just the previous season. For the past 3 seasons that I've been following, and I don't know before that. But yeah, the past 3 seasons, it's always 4MV domination in this entire region.
I mean, I completely agree on that, and I feel like this is definitely going to be one of the teams that we see being like best performing overall. In the first week itself, the colors they've shown is amazing. However, I'm not expecting 4MV to be in a dip at all, but I'm definitely expecting other teams to show up on the occasion soon enough as well. Specifically NBeSports, Stalwart Esports, and then soon enough Mabetex Esports as well.
Yeah, well, that was about it, guys. I think you guys have definitely enjoyed day number 3, but we will be back with day number 4 tomorrow. Stay tuned. We will be back tomorrow at the same time, at the same place. Till then, take care. Bye-bye and see you soon.
Make it clap.
PUBG Mobile version 2.7 will be available soon. Let's take a look at all the new content. The long-awaited Dragon Ball Super collaboration is officially here. We'll be bringing you 2 new game modes for this collaboration: Dragon Ball Super themed mode and Battle Royale Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super themed mode will be available in Erangel, Livic, and Sanhok. In this mode, we've incorporated Dragon Ball elements into the classic Battle Royale gameplay. All players will embark on a journey to find the Dragon Balls to summon Shenron. Collect the Dragon Balls scattered throughout the map. The team that gathers all 7 will be able to summon Shenron at the Shenron altar and make a wish to obtain powerful buffs. Maybe if you're super lucky, you'll get 3 wishes at once. During the journey of collecting the Dragon Balls, players will obtain a type of energy called Ki during the game. Players can use Ki to unleash famous Dragon Ball moves. Players can obtain the Kamehameha by picking it up. It equips to the pistol slot. After charging, it will release a continuous high-damage beam. Fukujutsu is another skill that can be picked up during a match. Players can use this skill to fly freely in the air and make quick tactical maneuvers. The Senzu Bean is a new recovery item that is incredibly effective. The Dragon Radar can display the location of Dragon Balls that haven't already been claimed by other players. It can help you collect the Dragon Balls more quickly. The Air Car can carry up to 3 players. It's easy to put away and has better performance than regular vehicles. Tenkaichi Budokai, Kame House, Korin Tower, Dragon Ball Village. These are some famous landmarks that will appear in the game. Call your friends and explore with them now. The collaboration this time even has a hidden challenge, named Dragon Ball Trial. Win consecutively in the themed mode for a chance to take on the challenge. After accepting the missions, the team has to follow the instructions and gather 7 Dragon Balls. During the process, your team's location will be exposed to other players. All players will be drawn into battle for the Dragon Balls. To win the game, the trial team must successfully secure the Dragon Balls, defend the altar, and then summon Shenron. Are you ready for the challenge? In this standalone mode, named Battle Royale Dragon Ball Super, players can roleplay as iconic Dragon Ball characters. Use powerful, unique moves in a brand new anime-style map, and become the ultimate victor. There are 5 Dragon Ball characters in this mode. They are Son Goku, Vegeta, Ultimate Gohan, Piccolo, and Frieza. Select your favorite fighter. Master their skills to suppress your enemies and achieve victory in intense battles. In the new version, the new Ace 32 firearm will be made available on all maps. It uses 7.62mm ammo and has 6 attachment slots. What are you waiting for? Go try it out now. Furthermore, this update also includes a firearm attribute tag display. Newer players can go to their backpack to look at the tags of a firearm they've picked up to quickly grasp its characteristics. The new Cycle 5 Season 13 begins on July 18th. Be sure to stay tuned for the new season rewards. That's a wrap for the main new content of the upcoming version. For more information, be sure to follow our official PUBG Mobile community. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See you next time.